videos. But anyway, those are the next 2 Saturdays. Well, let's get into this debate. I usually respect xQc sometimes. I mean, he's a fucking goblin of a man, but he's usually I usually prefer some of his takes. You know, let's see what this is about. I have no idea what this is.
What did I say that set you off this time?
Okay, here's my issue. All right.
Here comes.
Have you heard of Prisoner's Dilemma before?
Oh, I'm glad I watched that ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna act like I'm well versed, right?
Yeah.
But it's like oh, fuck, I heard the exact example. It's like good. Yeah, it's like gotta do it. He's gonna do it. I gotta do it. It's like this gamified shit. No.
Yeah. So the issue is that over the past 10, 15 years in the United States, conservatives have been infinitely ramping up the violent rhetoric over and over and over again. But every time it happens, the casual centrist crowd, so the Joe Rogans or the
xQc is a Kick streamer. He was on Twitch for a long time. At one point, he was the most popular streamer in the world. He's mostly just does video games. Every once in a while, he'll dip his toes into politics, mainly when his viewers request him to. I like him a lot sometimes, but it's hard to decipher his accent, and he does have kind of like goblin energy, Malfoy. But I don't know what he said, so we're gonna hear what it says here. He's one of the few big streamers that isn't super at war with Destiny, because Destiny's also another one of these big streamers. That was who I was trying to think of. So, you know, let's see what he's got. I mean, I don't watch a lot of xQc. I've watched a few of his videos. He reminds me of like another Charlie. What's his name? Penguin Zio or whatever. I don't know what his last name is. The one who like totally smoked Sneeko in a conversation and showed him about the guns. That was fucking hilarious. But like I said, I am plugged into this shit, man. This is unfortunately the shit that I do when I'm not making Ren reactions or playing League of Legends. I just watch the internet fucking just go to war constantly, and it's done terrible things for my mental health. But by constantly watching all these lunatics, I've been able to like get a better command of language, and hopefully I've been able to get a few facts under my belt in my time. But who knows? Maybe I could just be a dipshit stuck in his own echo chamber of the sound of his own voice. Very possible.
Jasmine Golds or people like you seem to think that they're not doing this at all, and all of the violence is only coming from the left.
Well, and I have never portrayed my audience ever like that. And I've never postured myself like that ever.
Okay. Do you agree that most of the violent rhetoric right now is coming from Donald Trump and the right?
As in what?
As in, when Donald Trump, somebody tried to shoot at him, Biden came out and made a speech, and Biden said, everybody needs to calm down. This isn't okay. We don't shoot our opponents.
Facts. I forgot about that, dude. Yeah, during the actual assassination attempt of Donald Trump, Biden came out and called for de-escalation. Kamala Harris came out and called for de-escalation. Major political fucking lefties came out and called for de-escalation, as they are now with the Charlie Kirk shooting. So, yeah, what the fuck? Forgot about that. I don't know how I forgot about that.
But when Donald Trump made a speech yesterday, he blamed the radical left Democrats, even though we have no idea who the fucking shooter even is.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll agree to that. Just to get into the conversation, I feel like
to get into the conversation. What do you fucking mean? It's cool that he bit a little bit of a bullet there, but like, hold on, you can't just I'll agree to that to get into a conversation. What do you mean? No, hold on. We need to reconcile this difference right now. What the fuck do you mean? I'll agree to that to this conversation. Like, sometimes I'll bite the bullet just so I can have the conversation about something, but like, no, what we just said was fact. The left has universally always called out the violence if it's happened to the right. But when the shoe is reversed, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. And to act like it's the same is insane. That's crazy. xQc is not really plugged into all this shit, so I doubt he would know any of this shit. I mean, maybe he just did some deep dives.
I think it's like putting these things like that or whatever. I'm not in the field of politics, whatever, of like finding out who's more at fault or not at fault, or whatever. I don't really care about that. I didn't think the whole thing is senseless and dog shit.
Okay, so to be honest, there is some truth to what he just said. I even said it in a video not too long ago. I'm going to use League of Legends as a metaphor here because it's the thing that, unfortunately, I have a shit ton of experience in because I've played it for like since 2000, before Trump was even in running for president. Okay, let's just say that the first time. And as a manager, you learn this pretty quickly to some degree. Eventually, you hit a point where it doesn't really matter where the problem starts. What matters is how you solve the problem. But there's a caveat there. If you are a manager, you eventually have to take notice to where the problems are originating from. The first thing that you have to do, first and foremost, is to solve the issue currently. Wait. Oh, he looks like Versy's target. Yeah, he does, dude. Hopefully he doesn't do the same things he did. You know what I mean? Didn't he like try to get a little intimate with his own sister? Damn, Danny was hot, by the way. Anyway, I'm sorry, I apologize. But so the first thing you have to do is to deal with the situation as it is currently. When the situation is afoot, you shouldn't spend your time pointing the fingers constantly. Pointing the fingers when there's a situation to be dealt with is not the way to go about doing things. Once the situation has been dealt with, then you have to start doing investigative things to find out why the situation came to. At least in management, I learned this pretty early on. You can't just always fix the problem and then leave it to repeat itself. Eventually, at some point, you have to dive in deeper than the surface level and see why these things are popping up. Full send. Like, you can't just let it keep perpetuating itself. So Destiny is correct to some degree that we do need to start pointing the finger and find out why this keeps happening. And it's not a bad thing to point that out. However, first and foremost, we need to solve the issue at hand. We need to de-escalate the situation, and once it's properly de-escalated and tensions aren't high, then we can start talking about where a majority of this shit is coming from. First and foremost, we need to like simmer the fuck down. So to some extent, xQc is correct, but then Destiny is also correct, because eventually once the simmering down happens, you have to start finding out why the fuck the situation came to where it is now to begin with. And that's just unfortunately, that's unfortunately just the truth. And when you've been someone that's been participating in it for as long as, you know, a lot of us have been, it's easy to remember where it started. But right now, we need to simmer the fuck down first. And then after that, we can start pointing the fingers and finding a solution to why, hey man, maybe the right needs to chill the fuck out a little bit. Maybe we need to spend a lot less time, you know, going after, but then the right always says it's not the right. Yeah, you're right. There has to be an eventual time where, how do I say this in a way that, like, I'm going to ground it out in an example. Now, this is not to speak at all, right, about things on the ground level in Gaza, okay? I'm not speaking about it. I'm not giving you the pros and cons. I'm not trying to defend Israel or Palestine right now. I'm just saying in generalities, right? So one of the problems that Israel and Gaza has is that we need to find a way to motivate both parties to come to the table for peace. And that's why, for me, it's always dangerous to just say genocide, genocide, genocide. Because as long as we keep perpetuating genocide, 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 there's almost no motivation for Palestinian people to come to the table. Because if a genocide is happening and the whole rest of the world agrees, the rest of the world will do something about it. They have to. We can't let a genocide happen. You know what I mean? Like, we have to put boots on the ground eventually. So as long as we keep telling the Palestinian side that they are being genocided nonstop, and we tell them that they're a constant victim, why would they ever come to the table? Now, to say the same thing for Israel, we have to hit a point with Israel to where it's like, hey, man, you're going to have to come to the table too. And in order for a peace to actually come to fruition, you're going to have to sacrifice things, such as the West Bank. The problem is both sides are incentivized to keep fighting. Israel can keep annexing the West Bank and keep taking more and more land from the Palestinian people, and they get to assert their control further and further and claim more and more of the historical sites they want. Palestine, the world shouldn't, but Palestine, as long as they keep hearing genocide, they will always think a savior is on the way. Instead of having a real nuanced conversation about the give and take for each side, we're just going to sit here and keep painting things in a broad brush and nothing's going to get done. I don't think either side has the ability to calm everyone down. It feels like it needs to come from the middle somehow. That makes sense too. Yeah. And it should be up to those. Well, so the people, the thought leaders of each movement need to be speaking out in defense of their side. So if the Democratic Party is calling out the violence, it would be nice if people on the right were doing the same thing. But yes, we need someone, the people in the center, to like equalize the differences. At the end of the day, Americans are Americans. I don't know, man. It's a rough one. But we need to find a way to incentivize conversation. But right now, there is no incentivization for that. If the left cannibalizes the right gets more power. If the right cannibalizes the left, it gets more power. And the people caught in the crosshair are just part of the circumstances. They're the price to pay. And that's not the way that we need to be moving forward. And that goes across even for Israel, Palestine, Russia, Ukraine. We need to find a way to incentivize these people to talk and to give up their means. Ukraine is a little different because if Russia stopped attacking today, the war would be over. But there's just so many nuances here that it's just, you got to have those conversations, man. And you got to find a way to like disenfranchise the fighting, which is why it's a bummer that, Harris lost the election, because we could have then used leverage in Israel-Palestine from funding to try and slow and calm down and dampen their effectiveness. But we can't even have that conversation because we just cloud everything with Israel has the right to defend itself, and then Israel's committing a genocide. Everything ends there. There's no deeper analysis that goes into it. No one is willing to have the conversations. It's just a cycle that's going to further perpetuate itself because no one really wants it to end. Even the content creators like Hassan Piker, who make a killing fucking talking about these issues, they don't really want it to end because it's how they make their money. It's how they build their audience. It's how they grow their constituents. It's how they there's no incentive to stop it. And that's a bummer. Because even when the biggest voices on the internet are there, first you have to teach people to have a conversation and use logic and reasoning. Exactly. And in America, that just doesn't happen anymore. Doesn't happen. Americans are incapable of that. And the younger generation is even more fucked. The amount of like slop content that comes out and like you watch any of it where they're like insulting another aggrieved party, and then they'll use like a shitty justification for their animosity towards them. You're like, what the fuck, man?
That's what I'm at.
Isn't that like literally the most retarded opinion to have, though?
No, I forgot what you said, so let's go back a little bit.
In the field of politics, whatever, of like finding out who's more at fault or not at fault, or whatever, I don't really care about that. I didn't think the whole thing is.
Well, Ricardo, I don't really want to get too into it. I've already lost one subscriber over this, but what I will say is Until Hamas is dealt with, Israel does have some culpability to like defend its borders. Israel was attacked. You know what I mean? Like, there does have to be a reason. Like, October 7th happened, and you don't just stop the attack because a lot of people are dead. You stop the attack when the opponent you're fighting is dead, and the opponent they're fighting is Hamas. As long as Hamas can stay in power, the war will never end. And some of that comes up to the Palestinian people to try and pull them out. Israel needs to do more to empower the PLO, but until they do, and Hamas is in power, it's not going to stop. Hamas needs to be dealt with. It doesn't matter if you were pro-Palestine, pro-Pali. October 7th, it wasn't the start of... I know it wasn't. I know. If you want to go all the way back in history, Israel has a lot more in its corner than Palestine does. The Palestinian people have attacked Israel on 7 different accounts in actual war. Israel's come to the table numerous times to pursue peace. Bibi keeps them in power to control the height of the flame. I understand. That's why I'm saying that we need to empower the PLO. But if you were to look through the entire history of the conflict, Palestine has been the one launching the attacks. Israel's been the one stopping them, and Israel's the one that's come to the table. Israel's given up Gaza, I think, twice. I think back in 2007 they gave it up to the PLO, and then eventually Hamas got voted into power. Like if you want to go into history, it's not going to work out very well. And then the further you go back, the crazier it gets. It's a complicated issue. But at the end of the day, only one of these groups of people came to the table numerous times to pursue peace. Even all the way back to Arafat, even before then. Don't lose subs because of me. Like, look, man, I went through the history, dude. Like, you can even go read Destiny's notes on the topic. I watched his review streams. I watched him for like 3 months go over all this stuff. I saw him bring in Palestinian people. I saw him go to Palestine and Israel. I saw him debate Zionist. All of his notes are published. You can go read them. I haven't seen a single pro-Pali guy come to the table and be able to debunk Destiny. And I'm telling you, I watched the streams. I come home from work. I'd watch a 9-hour stream of him going over Israel-Palestine conflict. Like, Destiny could probably be one of the strongest pro-Palestinian soldiers if he wanted to. And more every day, I'm on board with calling it something worse than what it is currently, because the way that Trump is handling this and the fact that they are choosing to like force people out of the land and we're not sure if they're going to be able to come back, it's looking more and more like a genocide, homie. But fuck you, Arthur. It's crazy. Look, I'm not saying that Israel is the good guy here at all. I'm not saying that. I think that both Israel and Palestine have a lot to play and a lot to pay on their side. Both of them have a lot that they can do to improve the situation. But like, if you had to put a gun to my head and put me to quantify a number, I would say that 49% Palestine, 51% Israel. And those numbers can change based on how, things unfold. Those things are always subject to change based on the actions on the ground floor. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked into Israel-Palestine in about a month and a half. So like, things could have already changed that would already adjust my initial understanding of the conflict. Very much so. But I think that we need to be careful in how we phrase these things, because if we disenfranchise the peace talks, all we're going to get is perpetual war.
Senseless and dog shit. That's what I'm at.
Isn't that like literally the most retarded opinion to have, though?
Excuse me.
I don't think
if somebody killed somebody else and they said it was in self-defense, isn't it kind of important to figure out what the fact of the matter is before you know if they had the right to kill somebody or not?
True.
I think that now we're like going away from like
not going away from anything. I'm just saying.
The main topic of what just happened.
I'm saying that
there's no justification of murder. It's just not. There's no.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that if in a case where somebody kills somebody else, if somebody were to claim self-defense, it's important to know the fact of the matter, right? You wouldn't just say, oh, well, you should never kill anybody. If somebody killed somebody in, we'll say, in the Rittenhouse circumstance or in some police shooting or whatever else, right? You kind of need to know the facts of the matter to have an opinion
In
on.
a scenario,
Yes. And that's why we got a lot of problems with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, because we had a lot of news people like the Young Turks come out and say a lot of rancid shit before the facts had been delivered. People to this day still believe that Kyle Rittenhouse killed a bunch of black dudes during a BLM riot when he only killed like 3 white dudes. One of them was like literally a pedophile. So, you know, and he was attacked by them first. You can go into semantics over all the other shit, like should he have been there? Did he cross the state line? All of this shit's been debunked. He went to a trial. You know, he was found innocent. But some people will still come out and say some of the most unhinged shit about that.
like that.
The facts always matter.
Or in some police shooting or whatever else, right? You kind of need to know the facts of the matter to have an opinion
In
on.
a scenario like that, yes, but
Okay.
I don't think that we're even approaching that. But go ahead.
You don't think we're you don't think we're at a state right now in the United States of America where Donald Trump is making threats to states to send in the National Guard, where he's already forcibly deployed the National Guard in states and then the Marines to California, when has the feds running around arresting people in masks, when we have alligator Alcatraz down in Florida, when we've invoked the Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelans with no due process, when we're showing videos of blowing up boats in the ocean and bragging about murdering 11 people who we think were drug dealers with no due process or any investigation at all, when we're talking about paying $10 million rewards to arrest foreign leaders in Venezuela, you don't think we're there yet? When we just named the Department of Defense the Department of War to show how epic it is, when we make jokes about invading Greenland or the Panama Canal,
Or Canada.
when we brag about successfully bombing places in Iran.
So if I agree with you on everything like that, right?
Sure.
It doesn't take away from anything that I've said or how I've conducted myself around the topic of what just happened. I think they're two separate topics.
Do you understand how infuriating it is when one side is saying this over and over and over again? We'll never back off a single point. We'll never
It's
apologize.
infuriating, but you have to be better. If
No.
you don't like what they're doing, you have to be better. Is what it
No.
is.
Okay.
Just be better.
If you and me both have a log that we're trying to set on fire, you're holding a match and I'm holding a match, would you just tell me to extinguish my match and the log won't catch fire? Does it work that way? You understand that doesn't do anything, right? It has to be both sides. It can't just be one side. If one side does it, then they just go extinct. That's not a winning strategy. There's nothing moral about that. If anything, it's immoral to do that, right?
But for me, it's more about the use of language and dialogue and all that.
Wait.
So one thing I'm going to say that I don't think a lot of people are going to like, and I want to be advocating for de-escalation. I do want that to be pushed out there. I think that is an important message that the world hears, even though most people won't see it on my channel. Human life is not everything. Like, in the past, old soldiers would kill themselves in Japan if they dishonored their lord. There are some things that are a higher call to order than your life. Now in America, we like to believe that our lives are super intrinsic and like we have the right to pursue happiness and all these things. But we already have a state. We already have a country. We have borders. We have an area of the world to call our own. This is why Palestine is willing to fight to the last man. They want a state. They want a home. And they're willing to give their lives for it. It's why Ukrainians are still fighting today against Russia. They could roll over and let Russia take over and they'd be alive. But that's not what they want. And they're willing to risk their life for the independence of their country. They want their sons and daughters to be raised. If life isn't everything, then what is it? If you're a parent, you already know the answer to that question. You would sacrifice your life in a moment's notice if it meant that your child got to live a better life tomorrow. We all intrinsically know that life isn't the end-all, be-all of the equation. We go to war for these reasons. We risk our lives for these reasons. Cops risk their lives every day in the line of duty to uphold justice for a paycheck. Life is not everything, and it can never be everything. Now, from a privileged perspective of having your own country and your own life and things that you want, of course we say that life is everything because we have nothing worth dying for other than maybe our children or if our homeland gets attacked. The point is still life, but it may not be our lives. Things are worth fighting for. Things are worth killing for. Now, we do so under an extreme degree of scrutiny, okay? If we take someone's life, there has to be an extreme degree of scrutiny, but we believe in self-defense for a reason. These things are true. A person's life, as valuable as it is something that many people have sacrificed for the greater good. Some people have died to preserve knowledge. That's not a life. But sometimes preserving knowledge is something worth fighting for. There are things bigger than an individual at stake, especially in a movement such as the left versus the right. To let the left completely lay down and let themselves get entirely cannibalized to where they don't get to be around anymore is a bad thing. You're a capitalist, you want competition. You want two opposing forces against one another because they help in some small way to keep each other in check. If there's no one else there that can help rein in your more extreme thoughts, then you'll just get extreme. If you don't have to compete in the marketplace of ideas and you get to say whatever the fuck you want and everyone's just going to agree with you, that's how you become a yes man, and then those people create egotistical maniacs. You need push and pull factors at all times. And by having more than just one political power, you have that. You need to have that right. Full send, and some things are worth the combat. I'm not saying that we should steep into that in America or in any of these countries that we would call first world, but we just need to be careful because that's the same thing that people will say about why it's okay for Trump to pull away from helping Ukraine. They'll say something like, I want people to stop dying. No shit, Sherlock. We all want people to stop dying. No one wants people to die unless they're fucking not right in the head. But that doesn't mean that we should tell those people that can't fight for their freedom. Some things are worth fighting for, even at the risk of your own life.
Use of language and dialogue. Who is the most divisive political leader right now when it comes to language and dialogue?
So you want me to say Donald Trump? I'll say Donald Trump.
Okay. How many times has Asmongold or you said Donald Trump needs to stop?
Well, I say this all the time.
Donald Trump needs to stop. Not everybody and the left. Not everybody and the radical left. Donald Trump needs to stop.
Yo. What we know it doesn't. That's not true at all. Bro, I'm always critical of everybody's dialogue.
Donald
even the people
Trump.
that you think.
Get him! Oh man, I was hoping XQC would give me a little pushback so I could talk shit on Destiny a little bit so I don't seem like such a soy cuck. But bro, yes, he's asking you a clear, concise question. How many times have you called out the leader of the free fucking world who uses the most divisive rhetoric in the entire country and is being more divisive than every other fucking president combined in the last 60 fucking years? How many times have you called out him expressly?
If I went to during the Warsaw Ghetto Massacre, if I went in and I saw the Jews fighting the Nazis, I was like, okay, all of you guys need to chill. Wouldn't that be really fucking retarded? Wouldn't it be really stupid of me to say that?
Please don't post some like historical or political references or whatever that I'm supposed to know. Like,
If
bro, I'm not.
He's grounding out examples, you absolute ape. What the fuck, dude? He's showing a lack of consistency in your line of thinking. Like, these are good things to point out. What the absolute fuck?
Wouldn't that be really fucking retarded? Wouldn't it be really stupid of me to say that?
Please don't throw some like historical or political references or whatever that I'm supposed to know. Like,
If I
bro, I'm
walked
not
into
gonna
a
know,
house and there was a, you know, some guy was fighting against 10 other dudes who were all trying to stab him to death, and this one guy had like a knife and he was trying to fight back, and I walked in and was like, hey, I think both.
He does love that word, and I've had to try to stop saying it because I've used that word quite a bit myself in life, and every once in a while I let it slip. I'm trying to be better, but yeah, it's yes. I do apologize if that word triggers you, because I mean, it doesn't trigger me, but I do try to move away from that word myself, even though it is really fun to say. Aussies still use it a fair bit. I know you guys love the word cunt down there. Is it yeah, yeah, they use the word cunt, right? They're the ones who use it. I fucking love that word, dude. It slips out occasionally. Yeah, I mean, it gets me too, man. I used to really say, I used to say the F word a lot, but I started. I've been trying to modulate that a little bit. But some of my earlier videos, I would stay away. Love that word too. Damn, Parker, Dean and Parker would go nuts. Yeah, they would, dude. Fuck. Scott say cunt a lot. I gotta figure out how to make it to where that'll show up in the chat. I don't understand why it doesn't. Even if it's not ladylike, it has its place. No, yeah, I complete, like, dude. Like, a majority of Americans these days are really starting to fall in love with the word cunt. And I blame that on the boys. Carl Urban, bro. Holy fuck. Is it Carl Urban or is it Keith Urban? No, Carl Urban. Keith Urban is the country dude.
Sides here need to stop. Wouldn't that be really dumb? If one was fighting against 10 other dudes who were all trying to stab him to death, and this one guy had like a knife and he was trying to fight back, and I walked in and was like, hey, I think both sides here need to stop. Wouldn't that be really dumb? If one side was constantly ratcheting it up over and over and over again, and one side was constantly throwing more and more oil onto the fire, like...
Yeah, but this point it kind of loses value, whatever, right? When it's about doing the act, though. That's the difference where it's at, right?
Why? How?
Well, I'm just saying, in this instance, somebody actually does that. They do that. Like they do the murder thing. That's no good.
Hold on. Okay, so let's see if we can. Let's see if I can good faith interpret what xQc is saying. So xQc is kind of right here if this is what he's hinting at. So there is a difference between talking about getting violent and actually getting violent. So if you want your argumentation to be that it's okay to ratchet up the temperature, but it's not okay to actually get violent, sure, I guess you can go that route. But we we had a list. Hold on, let me move this over real quick so I can grab it. I used it in the last video. I'll probably use it again. And by probably, I mean I'm going to right now. When I click, I'm sorry, but both sides have ratcheted up for some time, though you can't act like one side is at fault. I agree with what you're saying. Oh shit, I didn't move that over, so I just went to Twitter. Ooh, that could have been dangerous. I could have showed boobies or something, because Twitter is unhinged. Mehdi Hassan said, from a list of Trump supporters who killed or tried to kill Democrats, opponents of Trump in recent years, since the writer now claiming all the political violence. So here we can see that the man who targeted and killed Democratic state lawmakers Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark in their home in Minnesota in June was a Trump supporter. The man charged with attempted assassination of Pennsylvania Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro in April was a Trump supporter. The man charged with the man convicted of orchestrating a series of shootings at the homes of 4 Democratic elected officials in New Mexico in 2022 was a Trump supporter. Um, I'm sorry, but yeah. So the point is that Destiny's trying to make is that there is not a single Democrat in power right now that has been elected into a position of power that is trying to ratchet up the tension between all of them are calling out the violence that happened to Charlie Kirk. All of them, from Destiny himself to like Governor Newsom to fucking what's his name, Tim Walz, to fucking pretty much anyone that's within full on porn on Twitter has gone completely off the rails since Elon's purchase. Exactly. Don't get me wrong. It's where I find my femboys and shit. But I'll tell you this. It makes me scared to click Twitter. So like, yes, both political parties ratchet up tensions. I'll give you that. I mean, hell, I've said on his shit. Hell, after Charlie Kirk's death, I went and read a transcript of a lot of things he said in the last couple years, and a part of me was like, fuck it, he might deserve it. Now, I don't believe that. But in the moment, in a reactionary situation, you know what I mean? So, like, yes, the left and right ratchet up tensions 100%. The difference here is that the leaders of the left are trying to de-escalate, and the leaders of the right, such as the President of the United States, are not. So, like, to say that they're the same, it's just not true. Murder and shoplifting are both crimes. But anyway, but one is worth, exactly. So, like, yes, right now the right has been ratcheting up tensions for a long time, and they haven't given a fuck, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then they use their justification for that, saying that the Democrats did it first, and they'll point to things like BLM. BLM wasn't just a Democrat thing. BLM was a majority of people. Like, I know Republicans that march for BLM. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with marching for BLM. I don't even like the fucking movement. That wasn't just Democrats. That happened around the globe, across multiple different countries, advocating for, like, not, destroying people based off of, their skin color. Anyone can get behind that. A majority of them marching for that wasn't just Democrats. Now, when the riots started, things changed. Most of those could have been sponsored by Antifa or opportunists, but by and large, that wasn't just Democrats, okay? More importantly, when that shit happened, people like Biden, people like Kamala Harris, people like Governor Newsom, hell, even people like Mitt Romney were calling for an end to the violence and the stuff. But they were also supporting the idea and the movement initially. And hell, the idea and movement is a good idea. But when Trump does it, he doesn't care. There is a contrast between these things, and you can see that ratcheting up more and more every time an incident happens. Yeah, but to pretend that one side is only shoplifted and the other is murdered is crazy. They're just as bad as each other. No, they're not just as bad as each other. Again, the political leaders are the ones that we are asking to hold accountable. The political leaders, the thought leaders, are the ones that need to simmer the fuck down. No one side is wrong, both are wrong. That's not true. There's a difference of wrongness on both sides. It's not 50-50. You can't say they're the same. You can say that they're both like bad, but like the degree of badness is different. And he's not saying that the left haven't done bad things. He's literally banned off of Twitter because he was calling out BLM and saying that eventually rednecks are going to start running these people over, and fuck it, but at this point, they can. You know what I mean? That's why he was banned off of Twitter. Destiny's no friend of the far left. You know what I mean? He's not saying that only one side is doing the violence. He's saying that one side, and the leader of that side, is further perpetuating it while the other side is trying to moderate it. You could call them both evil, but you can't call them the same degree of evil. Just as all things on a spectrum, you have to place them accurately where they are. Now, does that mean I'm going to defend anytime a leftist goes out and does something wild? Fuck no. When a leftist goes far and fucking crazy, we call it out. We excise them from the fucking party. They're not there. We don't claim this guy. This guy's unhinged. This guy's a monster. There's the difference. Like today I watched Matt Walsh advocate for raising political tensions. Today I watched Asmongold advocate for increasing political tensions. And then if you go on Twitter, like I said, I found like 42. It's not that what was happening when the left was in power. Well, no. So I will say when the left was in power, they did have a higher preponderancy for cancel culture. They did. We saw that with the Kavanaugh kids. The Kavanaugh kids, a kid went on a field trip wearing a MAGA hat. I think he was still in high school. I think he went to Washington, D.C., and then a grown 45-something-year-old Native American man got into a child's face and then gave him a bad time. And then the news reported on it as if the child was... I keep getting filtered. I have to find a way to turn that off. But then, like, we saw the news medias come out and say that white little kid went up to a Native American and, like, got in his shit. We saw that happen. Like, I guarantee you, I was on your side initially on that, Claire. I've been against... Yeah, I saw that. That was bullshit. Yeah. I've been at war with the radical left for a long time. But there's still a stark contrast between the actions of these people. Like... And I'm able to see that. And like I was literally on, like, you know, I was a center left guy that was against I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I think Hillary Clinton was a devil. I still like Hillary Clinton less than I like, well, I don't know about now. Donald Trump did some really morally reprehensible things, but fuck, man, I do not like that woman at all. No, it's just not the same. The left did get wild. They did do dumb shit. I fully support that statement. Makes me think of that Filter song. Hey man, nice shot. But yes, the left is still like, and more importantly, even if you want to get like Rin with it, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to start talking like money games or money ties. Did anyone like her? I don't think a single soul liked Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? I don't even think Bill Clinton liked Hillary Clinton. There's a reason why that motherfucker cheated. You know what I mean? Oh, there was more to the story. What was I about to say? Fuck, dude. My brain, dude. Fuck, dude. Years of smoking weed, dude.
Sure, but that's done, right?
Well, okay. Hillary was not technically the devil. No. Hillary Clinton just said some really stupid shit. Like, again, her opinions on video games were so just so fucking asinine that how the fuck did this person get into governance? You know what? I'll just show it to you so you guys don't think I'm crazy. If I can find it. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Hillary Clinton. Whoops. Oops, not the word I was looking for. I don't think Hillary Clinton would have been that good of a president. She probably would have been better than Trump, though. I'll give you that.
I'm here today as a parent and a senator, and along with my colleagues and so many of the advocates from around the country, we are determined to stop a situation in which video games with pornographic and violent content are being peddled to our children. Now, as you can see from the posters that we have displayed here, many games contain content that is deeply disturbing. It's almost routine in popular games for players to spray other people with Uzis, to drive over pedestrians, to kill police officers, to attack women, and in some cases, even to engage in cannibalism. Players commit gruesome acts like these using top-of-the-line graphics in stunningly realistic detail. But we have 40 years of research to tell us that violent media is bad for our children.
We have no research that shows that. They tried to blame Columbine on Marilyn Manson. Jack Thompson tried to say video games make you violent. All of the evidence suggests otherwise, because these are actual effective outlets to get out some of that aggression. It's just full of shit.
According to the most comprehensive statistical analysis yet conducted, violent video games increase aggressive behavior as much as lead exposure decreases children's IQ scores. And I
Come on, man. We have the ESRB. Parents need to get off their ass and do their job. Yeah. Like, it's... Video games that are violent are not made for children. Parents need to stop buying violent video games for children. It's that simple. We've already come up with an effective way to deal with this shit. It's at the fault of the parents that allow children to play this rancid shit. It has nothing to do with the video game itself. Video games are just another form of art. Not the worst thing being said at the time. I agree with you. But that's more than a justification for me not to vote for this dumb... I'm not going to say that word. Not doing it. What a fucking stupid take that was. You want me to trust her with nuclear weapons when she doesn't know how to fucking read a study? Apparently they ain't parents. Look. Rated M for mature. Exactly, dude. I wouldn't have voted for her. And I'll tell you what, she probably would have been a better president. I was one of those guys I criticized. Like, the people that didn't vote for Kamala Harris over a single issue like Israel-Palestine. But the difference is, my inaction didn't cause video games to get banned. Their inaction caused Trump to get in office, who wants to destroy Palestine and replace it as like the emerald in the Middle East. Like, at least I didn't suffer any negative consequences for not voting for, well, I did to some extent. I mean, Trump did get in office, but that wasn't my problem. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, Anita Sarkeesian did her damage, and then that's when the timeline split. Exactly. And then we saw Sweet Baby Inc. type stuff happen. We saw the video game industry cannibalize itself. We saw them push identity politics over creating quality games. And they paid the price. And now millions of people have lost their jobs over layoffs because of that shit. Congratulations. You destroyed the industry. Thank you. Not her, but people like pushing that idea. But yeah, dude, fuck that. Look, this is part of the social thing that I was against. I was not in favor of this young lady whatsoever. But even she called out violence where it mattered. And she, like, totally... Video games have a purpose and do teach skills, preferably quality. The people are not on them admittedly. But if you're an adult, that's your choice. Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, let's get back to this.
We want to stop future murders, right? So if we could only control one person's actions today to stop future murders, who's the one person that we would want to tell everybody to calm the fuck down the most?
Okay, so go mega hard on the people that do the acts, and he's very vocal about it, instead of stirring the pot of like, no, they shouldn't be speaking about this, they should be speaking about that, they shouldn't be going around the pot. How about you be really harsh about people that do the murders?
No.
Okay, but what a stupid take. Like, you can't, yes, be harsh to those who do the murders, but that doesn't mean you don't be harsh to those that are like perpetuating the cycle that creates them. Like, when we talk about violence, you can't just talk about a surface level, the surface level thing. We got to talk about what's causing this to happen. You can't just call out the violence when it happens. We have to find a way to prevent the violence from happening from future situations. And the way we do that is by calling, we call out the bullshit that's starting to lead to that. You can't just say, because like, what is it? Like an addiction, this is what we talk about a lot. So like an addiction, you'll say that like you're addicted to a thing, but like the problem isn't just your addiction. Your addiction is not the root cause. The root cause is something that you're running away from, a problem that you're using your addiction to overcome. So in order to solve this problem, you have to find the root problem over here. You can't just solve the addiction because you'll just replace it with another addiction. You have to get to the root problem to like stop it from perpetuating. So what xQc here is saying is absolutely a brain dead take. It's brain rot, definitionally. We don't view the world that way. We don't just, like the reason why we write laws is so we don't just punish a guy when he does something bad. We write laws to stop people from doing things bad so we don't have to punish them later. Jesus.
Oh, fuck that. No, what a waste of time. No, we don't elect the president of the United States for every single person in the United States to act completely free and independent of what every other person says. There are thought leaders, there are political leaders, there are leaders of movements in this.
It does look like he's about to sit up on a thing.
Completely free and independent of what every other person says. There are thought leaders, there are political leaders, there are leaders of movements in this country. Why would we assume that every single individual person needs to be controlled and like we would talk to the people that lead the country, wouldn't we?
Facts. You always have to go to the political leaders and find out what the fuck is going on first. Always call out the violent people that do violent things, but then we have to find out where that violence came from. We can't just, it's not just an individual thing. It's not just a one fucking issue thing. Like we have to find out why the violence is coming out. We have to find a way to curtail that violence.
In that case, you don't care that Hassan says crazy shit, or you shouldn't get mad at me for making an edgy joke. Then apparently nothing we says.
Yes, what Trump says to the public isn't the root problem. It's a band-aid. It's part of the equation that would help us, but it's not going to fix anything. Well, that's not true 100%, my dear. To some degree, what Trump says is kind of the root of the problem because he's the one leading the free world. He's the one passing laws that affect people's lives. He's the one that's doing these things in real time. But yes, we do need to further work on our education, but here we have a problem. Donald Trump has already destroyed our education department in America. He's cut funding to numerous education sectors, and he's making people actively dumber. You know what I mean?
We say matters. We should just go to the murderers themselves. Not to mention that's always retrospective, so we can only react to murders. We can't prevent any of them. Why is it so hard for you to just say?
Holy fuck, dude. I'm glad that he went down the same route that I did with this. What the fuck? Destiny, I swear to God, you're my spirit animal, buddy. Please never. Well, you might need to change sometimes.
Making an edgy joke, then apparently nothing we say matters.
And also on that same thing, if people like me or Destiny or even Tectone or Asmongold or xQc, you know, or any of these people that are like way more influential than myself, the reason why we have a problem with the things Hassan says isn't because Hassan is going to go out and stab somebody. You know, like it's not like Hassan is going to go out there and be a serial killer or he's going to grab a rifle and start sniping people. It's because his rhetoric is dangerous and he's going to radicalize people to do dangerous things. And no one's holding him accountable for what he's saying. He's actively doxing people on his website. From what I've listened to, Trump doesn't seem to be able not to lie. It's a bit disturbing. Exactly, dude. We need to call out the thought leaders, okay? You can't just go after the individual that did a bad thing. And where did I put my new water pump? Yo, dude! Oh, no! Oh, I didn't hear about the education change that was initially announced, but out of the loop since I don't know what's happening with it. It'll take generations to fix this problem, which is why we get so mad. 50 years from now, people will still be wearing MAGA merch. Exactly. And then people are going to call out the violence of one individual, which is cool. That guy did bad shit. He should be called out. But we need to get to the root problem. Who's causing some of these issues? Who's causing people to be radicalized? Who's the one person calling the other side evil or demons or monsters? What happens when you other the other side? You know what I'm saying? Violence is a necessity at that point. And though we need to condemn it, we need to condemn the people perpetuating that violence. And even though it's not pure violence yet, because it's just words, if they're pushing people down violent paths, they're just as responsible of it. Like, again, with Ren, I've talked about this, and like Money Ties is, or not Money Ties, Money Games 3 is about this. We perpetuate the system that we're in. We need to show Donald Trump that it doesn't matter how fucking vile this guy gets, we are not going to fucking go through it. Limbaugh, Hannity, they've all been making outrageous claims for years. Donald Trump's initial claim to dominance in the political sphere outside of being a donor, the donor class, was saying that Barack Obama is not a legitimate president because he wasn't born in America. I don't know what to say, dude. Like, after that, what are we doing? You're trying to, like, when Donald Trump got into office, he tried to say that all of the EOs that Biden signed should be null and voided, and that he shouldn't be able to, pardon his son or the Biden family because he wanted to go after them. I didn't really like the Biden pardons of his family until after I saw how rancid Donald Trump really was going to be. My biggest hope was that Donald Trump was going to come in, ride the wave, and then let the Biden policies that were put into place save America, and then he was going to take credit for it, and then we'd have another Republican after that. That was my hope. Now, I don't know if we're going to have another election. There's a reason why I'm not in my country anymore. That night, was asked to come out here, fell in love, all that mushy shit.
We should just go to the murderers themselves. Not to mention, that's always retrospective, so we can only react to murders. We can't prevent any of them. Why is it so hard for you to just say, if Hillary Clinton or if Biden were president right now, would it be this hard for you to say, wow, Biden or Hillary really shouldn't say this shit, and they should tell the left to calm the fuck down? Would you really have the same position?
Absolutely.
I don't believe you.
What? Bro,
I don't believe you because it's such an obvious that if you get, I don't care what you get called. I don't care what you get called. In any world, it would be so obvious to an impartial observer that Donald Trump, who has stoked the flames in real ways, like pardoning people that have committed crimes for him on his behalf, in implicit ways, like inviting people to do crimes, like when he invites people to the Capitol to overthrow the fucking government, and then in rhetorical ways, when he's constantly making jokes about putting Liz Cheney in front of a firing squad and Second Amendment jokes and everything else, right? Yep. This guy should probably calm the fuck down.
I agree with all that, and I think that's dangerous language, and I am always vocal about dangerous language and loaded.
I'm not talking about dangerous language. I'm talking about a person who's doing it. Nothing you say matters if you're not willing to call out the person doing it.
Okay, then I think I'm a pretty good actor on that front. I think people will mostly agree with that.
So I can find a single example of you saying Donald Trump really needs to fuck off with this. He needs to stop. Donald Trump, not everybody.
1,000,000%. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
The fuck is that? I have something on the case and then you can go find one. I mean,
I've never heard it before. Maybe it has happened somewhere. I've never heard you say it in my entire life. I've certainly never heard
1,000,000%.
say it. Okay. If that is
Donald Trump, you act like I'm not critical of this guy. Like I'm associated it. Like most of what he says is a fucking brain dead. Most of the dialogues and lines of the song are like some sub-zero IQ shit.
No.
Most of it.
No, you're doing it right now, and you don't even realize you're doing it. It's not brain dead, and it's not sub-zero IQ. It's evil. It's driving people to violent action. It's encouraging violence. It's inviting violence. That's not just stupid. You're downplaying it right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to retell the dialogue for this one particular argument. I use that as an example. I do that as a pattern of behavior. Don't retwist this as no. This is different. No. You ask me if I ever do this. I give you an example of how I do that. Don't revert back to the main topic and be like, oh, gotcha. What a stupid fucking thing you're doing right now. Like, what wrong with your IQ? Did it fall off your fucking shoulders or what? Your brain's cooked. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're just backtracking for no reason.
Who's backtracking?
You backtracking for no reason.
I didn't backtrack.
Why?
Because you said that Trump was retarded, and I'm trying to tell you it's not that he's just stupid. It's that his language, his rhetoric is leading to violence, like in a very real and predictable and obvious way.
You can't change the timeline and say, name me a thing where you've done that, and then
I hate it when people get into these fucking sides of the argument. Bro, if you were giving an example of when you were being critical of Donald Trump and being violent, you didn't give that example right there. You said he was brain dead and gave 0 IQ takes. And he called out that statement. You can't say I gave an example of a time that I called him violent when you just didn't do it. You just said I call him brain dead. Those are two different things. Someone who's brain dead is typically no threat to you. They don't know how to be a threat to you. He's asking you a clear and concise fucking question. When have you called out Donald Trump's divisive rhetoric surrounding these things? And now he's obfuscating and running away from the thing while also just insulting Destiny's intelligence. Now, Destiny's already used divisive language here, so it's not like you get any he gets no like sympathy points for what's xQc being unhinged right now. But he's dodging the answer. Like, this is one of the problems that happens in debate where people will be like, well, I hinted at it. Like, no, I didn't ask if you hinted at it. I asked you, did you say this?
You're doing this. Like, you can't just swap the fucking timeline on me and be go, gotcha. Like,
No.
I found the water pump. It was in a box just where I left it, but fuck it. That will be one thick pain in the ass changing it. It was changed 4 years ago. You have my sympathy, my guy. I am so sorry that you're having to go through that. But I also have immense respect for you. Even though I'm going to put the new belt on and call it a day. I mean, was the water pump working fine? Do you have to change it every time? I don't think you do. The water pump's working and you aren't having any issues with overheating. And then again, look, I'm not the best tech. There's a reason I got into management.
No, I just said, do you call out Trump? And you said, well, yeah, I think I call him out all the time. I say he's retarded or something like that. I was like, it's not that he's retarded. I'm not asking you to say he's stupid. I'm saying,
okay,
you have to call out that his rhetoric leads to violence.
Yes, yeah, I call it dangerous language and stupid lines of dialogue and deliberately irresponsible. And yes, I use those words all the time. It's not some crazy new thing for me. Like, what?
Okay. Do you acknowledge that, like, right now the right is driving up right now? Like, they're all praying for some kind of like left counterattack. They want like the right to assassinate somebody, right? Including Donald Trump. Donald Trump is doing that.
I see all of them, and it's fucking weird.
Why weird? It's not weird. It's horrible.
Why is it weird? Call it out properly. If you're gonna call out the violence from the guy shooting, we should call out the violent rhetoric coming after that. You have to know, by pushing violent rhetoric after an incident like this, especially before the facts of the matter have been established, you're going to create more problems. You're going to create pain points that aren't going to be good for anybody. Weird is not the word I would have used to describe that. I would call it dangerous, un-American, a threat to democracy. We need to find peaceful resolutions moving forward. We can't run the fence by calling it weird.
It's terrible. What do you say? Hassan is weird when he's fucking supporting terrorism? Like, why the weak language? It's not weird. It's horrible. It's abhorrent. It's irresponsible. It's insanity. It's calling for.
It's insidious.
Basically violence. I've seen like 20 different right-wingers on fucking Twitter today on their mainstream media and alternative media platforms all calling for violence.
Yeah, Tim Pool did it. Matt Walsh did it. Asmongold essentially did it because he called them justifiable targets. Like, this is not good. This is dangerous. This is evil.
Yeah. So I'm having a casual conversation with you and not using the exact word.
And don't you love the... Well, I didn't describe it the exact way you wanted me to. It was like, no, we want you to keep the fucking thing 100%. Be consistent with your criticism. Don't be light on a topic. I don't know what's so hard to understand about this. When Donald Trump does something bad, you call it out. When Donald Trump does something good, you call it out. Like, he can do good things. I've seen him do good things. Like, this was the moment for Donald Trump to really step the fuck up and being the American president. To come out and say something beautiful, not just for Charlie Kirk and his family, but for Americans to get behind. And he didn't do that. Well, I feel like I'm just going to be confused for the rest of my life after today. After this, I think we're going to start playing some video games until the girlfriend gets here. If we
That
get
is
that
of that
far.
nature. You act like I'm doing this deliberately, and it's like, oh no, dude, I use the terminology correctly all the fucking time.
It's not that you're doing it deliberately, dipshit. The problem that you're going to have is that you have a massive audience, and then if you run any sort of defense for these people, as violence is ratcheting up, you take even more responsibility for it than just your audience. Again, we all have some responsibility for what happened because we all participate in the society that created the environment for it to happen. We all bear some form of responsibility. The difference of that responsibility depends on how much influence you have in the society that you're a part of. So like someone like me who's a nobody, my responsibility might be quite low, but I participate both in the media environment and the debates and the online stuff that perpetuate these things and that drive the political fucking tensions higher and higher. I am responsible to some degree. Now we can have a conversation of what degree of responsibility that is, but I take some form of responsibility for what happened to Charlie Kirk. People like xQc who have like 2 to 3 million subscribers, their level of responsibility is going to be drastically higher because they have far more pull within the environment they're a part of. It's not that complicated. You can enact real change. So when you say something that comes off as a defense of what might be happening, or their rhetoric, or anything, not necessarily a defense, but you downplay it, you're making the problem worse. You're exacerbating the situation in a way that isn't necessary. People need to understand what level of control they have in the environment they're in. It's not necessarily that they control their audience. No one controls anybody. And no one should ever think that they do. But like, if you have a major audience that come to you for their news and information, you can affect the way they view the world. If even temporarily, you can have a negative impact on people. The Citroen has this engine somehow. The interval of changing the belt and water pump is twice the interval of, I don't even know why I bought it. Well, I mean, sometimes you can buy it just on the off chance you need it. Can you always return the part and get your money back? Because, I mean, that's usually, I mean, I'll buy all the stuff that I might potentially need when I go to redo a replacement. And then I try to do it quick enough that I can return the parts that aren't necessary. Now, I know that with an electronical component, is it an electric water pump or is it a mechanical water pump? I know it was dirt cheap. It cost me like 300 pounds. Well, I don't know if that's pounds. It looks like a different symbol. I don't know what that actually is. 300 something.
Time. And people show you examples. Buddy, it's actually inside out of everybody, right? That you think that me, I'm not like this. When I'm one of the most anti-violence person you probably know of.
Being anti-violence isn't a virtue when one side is doing it more than the other. What you're saying is just empty.
Also, a majority of people on this country or in this world are anti-violence. The car, I don't know why I bought the car. Oh, that'll do it. Rent, you can play it on here. It's from the TV news title. Hey. Posted a cool Ren thingy today. If you can play it on here, it's from a TV news show title, Interview at Fox 5 New York. Full clip if you want. How long is it? Because I don't plan on being on too much longer. But I mean, if it's short enough, I'll definitely dive into it today. I'm going to need to unwind some of the bullshit that we're talking about after this and before the game. Gotcha.
I
You're
don't
better
give
off
a
saying
shit.
nothing. You're hurting more than helping. When you come into a situation
that's-
where one side is being 90% of the violence and the other side is 10%, and you're like, I just want everybody to calm down. You're not helping. You're hurting at that point. You're feeding into the delusion that the right wing wants everybody to believe that it's like either both sides. They don't even say both sides. They just say it's always the left.
I disagree. I disagree. If you make it a point, to always call out whatever the side it is, whatever and to always sound business about the topic. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to fucking to conduct yourself in that way without being a virtue cuck lord. What about it? It's not some. How is that hard to understand?
You have to understand that when you say that, you're just supporting the person who's winning. It's a status quo reinforcement, if you don't realize it. If you go to Ukraine, Russia, and you're one of the people who's like, I just want the violence to stop. Who gets mad at that and who loves that? Russia loves that, and the Ukrainians get mad at that. What do you mean you just want the violence to stop? Fuck you, we've lost half our country. If you go to Israel, Palestine, you say, we just want the violence to stop. Who gets mad at that, right? The Palestinians say, we don't even do violence. That's all Israel. Fuck you guys. They're stealing our shit, right?
So how is your behavior solution then? You're saying a lot of problems, not a solution.
The solution
how is your behavior
I
solution?
can tell you, the solution is the right has to disavow their end. It's so obvious that when you look at what's going on, Donald Trump should be able to come out and say, hey.
Oh, okay. Ran at the fast. Okay, yeah, I'll watch it after this. I might even speed this up a little bit, even though it's Destiny, so I'm gonna have a very hard time keeping up, but I keep running my mouth way too much. It's been a theme this day. I think we've only made it through 4 videos.
Everybody, all of us, we're all being fucking insane, and everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Without saying Joe Biden, without saying the radical leftist Democrats, without even knowing who the fuck the shooter is, Donald Trump should very easily be able to say, everybody needs to calm the fuck down right now. He can't do that. They've never, not only do they not disavow what they do, he constantly forgives it, and the whole right constantly make excuses for it. They don't know anything that they do.
True.
Agreed. And does that fix the problem?
No, but it balances out the dynamic where we can both come to the table and start having an honest conversation about how to fix the issue. The issue can't be fixed when you think one side is the demons and you're the good guys. Good guys don't have to make peace with demons. They need to kill them. They need to free the people from the demon control. These are we need to be able to come to the table, and how do we do that? By disenfranchising the violence, by pulling people away from that edge. And the only way that we can do that is by the leader of the political movement on the right stating that clearly. I do not want fucking more violence. Chill the fuck out. This is the time to find unity and not find a reason to fucking hate one another. Because you can always find a reason to justify hating another person. It's not very hard to look through reasons why you may not like a motherfucker, especially when they're on the other side of the political paradigm. Just not, no. In order to bring this down to an end, the left can't be the only ones trying to de-escalate the situation. And it can't always be that way. We need to bring it back to a point where we can have an honest conversation about the issues at hand and find a way to decompress that shit.
But it's better for both sides to be violent than to just sit there and endure the violence, because that just leads to a total eradication of your side.
So do you make it a point for you let's say, because if you're going to hold people to a standard, you have to hold yourself to the same standard, right? Mm-hmm. Do you make to denounce people that use bad language, the fucking leftist radical fucking dog shit call for violence? Do you make it a point for you to call these people out there when they do this shit? Is that what you stand on them? Do you actually do that?
Generally, yeah. Less so now, though. Not when the Republicans are doing it. I think it's immoral to sit there and hand wring on the left. Now my statement is, I don't think anybody on the left should say shit about it until Donald Trump does.
So for everybody, it's no, they have to do it like that. But for you, it's now it's this, but now it's that. So how don't they get that shield and that grace or that charitability, right? But that you're giving yourself. Why don't they get that?
They've had that charitability for 5 years. What are you talking about? They've had the charitability for 3 election cycles, and they've done nothing with it. Even today, they will not call out their side ever. They deny it even happens. They think that Jan 6 was a Fedsurrection. The Minnesota lawmaker that just got killed, like a month ago or 2 months ago, they said that person was killed by a radical leftist. It wasn't. It was conservative. Both the guys that tried to kill Trump were probably conservative. At least one of them was.
Don't do this thing.
See, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. At least admit it. At least admit it.
xQc, good.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want. But if you're watching me or Hassan or you or Aiden, yeah, do it, dude. That's great. I know it's epic for you. It's epic. It's epic. I hope that you repeat the video of one of us getting our fucking heads blown off, and you sit here and you do the same both sides shit. It's such it's the most cucked fucking position in the world. You're such a fucking loser. Holy shit.
So you're gonna say probably Republican. But you get mad at somebody if somebody says, well, probably a trans.
There has to be a fucking threshold. Like, how long have we let these people just do whatever the fuck they want? Like, we literally have Nazism on the rise in our country right now. We are seeing a spike in racism towards African Americans, people that are naturally born in this country, that were brought here against their will through means of slavery. We're seeing people use culture justifications to hate black people. What are we doing? How long do they get to ratchet up the temperature? How long do they get to call the Democrats evil before we start doing something? You don't understand how this is dangerous? How long do we have to capitulate to these people constantly before eventually someone says, fuck that, I'm done. I'm not going to give... We know this intrinsically. If you are in a one-sided friendship, relationship, if you're in a one-sided work environment to where you can never get your raise and you never get anything after countless promises, eventually you look for another fucking job. If you're with a lover and all they ever do is take from you and never give anything back to the relationship, you break the fuck up. If you are constantly on the back foot, always having to be the responsible adult in the room and always calling to go, when they go low, we go high, when all of that shit continuously happens for fucking ever, where's the cutoff line? Where is it when we can finally come out and say, it's your turn to be rational? It's your turn to try to de-escalate violence. At what point do we fucking stop cannibalizing ourselves so that we get to participate in the media environment that for some reason Republicans continue to create? Why is it that they have such a dominant fucking control over the media environment? Like, just look at trans issues. Trans people make up less than 1% of the population here in America, or there in America. Okay? You can go your entire life and never see a trans person ever. Realistically, you probably won't ever see one, especially if you live in the South or if you live in environments where they're not there. Like, I don't know if they want to do that though. That's the yes, but we need that to be present. We need that to be seen. If they don't want to like actually go into peaceful resolutions, that needs to be clear for the world to see. This way we can defend ourselves accordingly. We're in on Fox 5 New York 4 fashion. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We gotta just get through this crap. But like, if you've hit your threshold and you start wanting to hold them accountable, what Destiny's saying is that after fucking 3 election cycles, like at some point, we need to stop giving them the grace that we've been giving them and hold them accountable for what they're doing. You don't let a bad kid be bad forever. Eventually you discipline them, or else they just grow up to be assholes. And they grow up to be fucking like, you know, what's that kid? Joffrey from Game of Thrones. You have to discipline people. It's a tit for tat system. You can't just let them keep taking nonstop.
Shooter, what's the difference? You're making a pattern to do this
Little
shit
bro,
language.
I know that you and Train like to victimize yourself all the time. Do you know what I'm perm banned for
Give
from
me
Twitch
an
on?
argument.
Hold on.
Give
What do
me
you
an
think?
argument.
What do you think I'm
Yo,
perm banned from
attack
Twitch
my
for?
argument.
X, you're
Attack
really
my
going to use
argument.
this on me?
Attack my argument. Attack my argument.
Your argument is that I wouldn't call out trans people for being crazy? Remind me what I'm perma banned from Twitch from again.
No. I said it. That is not what I said. I said you're doing this. Probably a guy of this side, whatever, right?
We're having, by the way, that's what I call it in the beginning of the conversation, that you don't want to address
some
the
dumb
facts.
fucking rhetoric if people were saying, yo, probably a trans shooter bullet like they always do. Like,
I'm not aware of,
shield
I'm not
and a
aware,
pass.
it's not a shield and a pass. I'm not aware of there being like radical trans violent groups of people. If there were, I'd probably tell them to not do that. I'm not aware of this huge movement of like trans radicalist violent people. I'm sorry, do these people exist somewhere and I've missed them? I feel like I fought with every fucking trans group on the fucking internet. Am I just missing these people?
No. Did you misunderstand what I said? What I said is people use these rhetorics all the time, but for you it's okay to say, oh, probably a Republican. I think there's a pattern of behavior. It is a shit to do that. Wanna know why? Because you would probably get mad, as respectfully so, right? If people said, oh, probably another trans shooter, right? You would call them out if they said shit like that, right?
No.
But okay.
It's cause and effect. People are not randomly doing acts of violence against the left for random reasons. The guy that showed up at the Pelosi household said that he got radicalized first watching Gamergate videos and then started rattling off a bunch of right-wing QAnon conspiracy theories. The people that showed up at Jan 6 were there because Donald Trump called them to be there to protest the outcome of the election because he said it was fucking rigged. The guy that just got convicted today said that he thought that he needed to make an assassination plot to shoot up 4 Democratic lawmakers because he lost his election in New Mexico. He said it's because he thought the election was rigged. These are all Republican talking points. It's not random. You're acting like any random shooter is just a random guy that does random things for random reasons. It's not the case. It's very predictable where a lot of it is coming.
And statistics bear that out too, eh? Like, the likelihood of random violence coming your way is incredibly low. Like, violence, random violence. So remember during the Ginny and Screech song, where I didn't realize Ginny and Screech were related? And I ultimately said, I think in the next video, that I feel like it dampens some of the storytelling of it by having them be Violet's children. It didn't necessarily ruin the song by any means. It's still a powerful, moving, gut-wrenching song that shows, you know, it has a whole different motif and theme after that. But the reason why it was so hard-hitting for me initially was because I thought it was random violence that he was trying to put a pin on. Because random violence is probably one of the worst forms of violence. Like, say what you will, but violence can be calculated. If, for example, you can see a through line from point A to point B on how they got there. The more you fuck with someone, the more you ruin someone's day, the more you treat them like shit, whatever, the more radicalized they can become over time. And then eventually, their animosity or hatred or whatever it is for you can grow to a breaking point where violence could be a potentiality. Like, it's possible that violence can happen. Now, random violence is much different. Random violence is cold. It's not calculated. It's random. Like, it's just something where a guy you don't know walks in and shoots you in the face. You don't know why he did it. You don't know what his motivations were. Maybe he didn't like the way you looked. Maybe, it'd be a whole myriad of reasons of why he did it. And you will never be privy to it. Is that really on? What the fuck? No, okay. It's tripping me the fuck out right there. Which goes way beyond just his music. Exactly. Ren is famous now. Ren is going to be something very big in history. He's just getting started with it. I truly believe if his health lets him do it, what he wants to do, which goes way beyond just his music. Yes. And could you imagine if like Ren made it to like prime minister or whatever in his country? That'd be fucking weird, right? Kind of gangster too. Like, I used to react to that guy way back when that young whippersnapper.
Coming from. The guy that mailed out is not the case. It's very predictable where a lot of it is coming from. The guy that mailed out pipe bombs to 12 different Democratic people, George Soros, the Clintons, the Obamas in 2018, was a QAnon or Donald Trump fan. Okay,
so what you're saying is that you're making it a side thing. So you're saying that this is not a thing that the left constantly prays and preaches this like, this act of violence, but it gives me a W?
No, he's showing a pattern, you fucking dipshit. Like, we can't sit here and just cannibalize the left right now for one shitty person when the right has been complacent in those same actions. He's showing a string of patterns. I don't know why this is so hard for you to comprehend. I understand what xQc is saying. His teacher said he couldn't be trusted with a bucket. That'd be so dope, though, if he made it to, like, some high office, dude. That'd be so gangster. To shove that in his teacher's face. But like I said, there's some form of like, xQc is not entirely wrong with what he's saying. He's just not 100% there yet. Like, what Destiny is doing honestly is somewhat dangerous if you were to take away, but I think so more than politics, he will do things within the medical industry as he already is. Well, yeah, but you got to remember, you got to be careful. Bill Gates is kind of a cool guy, right? I think he's helped fight against a particular disease. Was it malaria, or there's like one disease that Bill Gates really wants to eradicate. And he's like donated a shit ton of money to do that. However, even some of the people that he's donated the money to have said that some of his donations have actually been a detriment because he's so fixated on one thing that it means that like all the funding that he's adding is cutting off funding from other stuff because he just wants this one thing fixed. And by doing so, he's actually caused some bit of harm in the process. One would hope that if Ren really gets into the medical industry, that he doesn't just fixate on ME, you know, and he fixates on a whole slew of issues. Though ME is very bad, and it does, we do need to work on that one particular issue, a fuck ton. Hopefully, if he does do that stuff, he doesn't get so caught onto one issue that it negatively impacts the others. Like not Bill Clinton, but Bill Gates did. And now Bill Gates still did tremendous great things, but some people can get so fixated in one direction that they miss the stuff in the periphery. Just eventually, you know, but you know, even if that's the case, he's still probably going to help thousands, if not millions of lives. So I mean, it still works out. Just one would hope that he doesn't fall into the same trap.
Fuck it, we're gonna catch it up. Fucking Luigi fucking is my hero type shit. You don't think this is a narrative that's constantly being portrayed all the time, and that's fine?
I don't think the Luigi stuff was good, but there aren't lawmakers on the list. You think that the...
And I don't think he will, but yeah, that's just me. True. Yeah. Again, xQc is kind of missing the point to some degree here.
Left is Hassan Piker, who's an actual terrorist fuck. No Democratic lawmakers are celebrating this. You're comparing the Republican Congress and the Republican president to 11 follower accounts on Twitter called "Give Me My Hormone 6969."
Nope.
Yep.
In this particular case, in this particular type of problem, inaction is just as bad as.
But it's not inaction. They're calling it out, dude. X, what the fuck?
Action. It is just as, because you're cashing in the W when it's your side gets a kill count plus 1 kill, but it's your side that got that. Oh, I don't know what that is. It's probably a misfire. The bullet landed on his head. Oh, guys, it's probably an accident.
You know what?
Some people maybe celebrating it and misfired his gun. Oh my God, moving on. Right?
Okay, sanity check.
What a ridiculous argument. Come on, X.
Celebrating it and misfired his gun. Oh my God, moving on. Right?
Okay, sanity check. Sanity check. How many? Hold on. How many people did Donald Trump pardon for the J6 thing? It was all of them, right? How many people did Biden pardon for the BLM riots?
Brother, you're doing this presidency cocklordery. Because Donald Trump won and knocked Kamala.
Because real life isn't just the Twitter
accounts you see. Why are you always reverting back to what Donald Trump is doing?
Oh my God.
Bro, it's one elderly fucking, like...
He's not just one elderly person. He's leading the fucking free world, and he has a cult of personality around him. What the fuck am I watching? Let's not forget that Aiden Ross and xQc also met Donald Trump during his fucking... Happy Dad bullshit, and he signed the man's. He was wearing a T-shirt with the man. This motherfucker.
Cucked. It's actually so cucked. Is it a requirement? Bro. What is the visa you're on? Is it the fucking sperm swallow visa that you have to suck off at least 10 conservatives in order to be down here in the United States? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I hold the president. I hold the president of the United States. The president of the United States is more important with what he says than random fucking Twitter accounts. How is that really hard to understand?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So if you were to put a placeholder, let's say you fuck it, Kamala is in the president. She won. Make history different.
If Kamala was the fucking president, she would have called out the violence immediately. As every other president in U.S. history has. When Abraham Lincoln won the Civil War, he pardoned the South. You know why he did that? To forgive and de-escalate. Because America needed to move past the trauma of what just happened. Every president has universally called to de-escalate so that we don't have violence in this fucking country. Yes, the president has a very high fucking standard here. And when the president comes out and says it's the radical left, no, he doesn't even say radical. He no longer even gives a qualifier. He says the Democrats are evil. This is not okay.
And she called.
Oh, this pale dude is he's a video game streamer that occasionally tips his toe into politics, enough so that he got to meet one such as Donald Trump with Aiden Ross, another person who's banned on Twitch. Ugh.
Calls out the violence all the time. This shit suddenly stops and what the growing culture.
Yes, it would
of
probably
violence?
lower a lot. Yes. Why do you think that all of the massive protests of the? Did you know that? Here's a fun stat: 7 of the largest protests in U.S. history, 7 out of the last 10 of them, happened under Donald Trump's presidencies. Do you think it's random? Do you think that just happened to be by chance? This is a guy.
I didn't fucking know that. Oh, what country is he from? I don't know. Probably Sweden or some shit.
Saying he could stop the invasion in Ukraine and he can't stop mass protests and riots in the United States? Tell me that's random before you say the next dumb thing. Just say at least, no, that was probably all random. That was just random. There was nothing Trump could have done about that.
What was random?
The fact that all the violent rioting, all of the fucking shit that's happening in our country, that so much of it is happening under Donald Trump. Do you think that's random? Do you think that Trump and Biden were just as inflammatory as each other?
No. Come on. At least I'm glad that, like, throughout all of the videos that I've watched today, I kind of called some of this stuff out before Destiny got to it, because this way people won't tell me like, oh, Destiny's the one telling you how to think, because I got there on my own. But yeah, dude, there's a stark contrast between Biden and fucking Trump. It's clear as day.
Wait, I'm so confused. What is
Nikki, no! It's okay, dude. Scrap. Yeah, it's hot out today. Well, at least it is here. I'm sweating, my lady.
Is it statistically more violent things happening under Trump? What's
I'm
happening?
saying that of the last 10 huge protests, largest protests in U.S. history, 7 of them happened under Trump's presidency over the last 3 terms, and we're only 1 year into this one. Not even.
For 6 months.
I think using a data sample of that size is genuinely irresponsible. I think it's irresponsible.
Okay, how would you measure it? How do you want to measure it? Politicians killed? Plots thwarted? Attempted political assassinations? Which one do you want to use? Tell me which one you want to use.
So what
I'll
you're
run them
saying?
down. What I'm
So
saying
what you're saying is that
go ahead, Mike, go ahead.
the right is speaking words I don't like and having narratives I don't like, but the left is the one carrying out actions of terrorism. So the right is wrong. But if they just spoke better, it would all stop.
Hold on. Okay. So if you truly believe that the left is the one causing the problem, why are the left the ones causing the problem? Let's just like go down this rationally through your own argument. Why is the left attacking people like Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump? Is the left doing it because they're intrinsically evil? Or are they doing it because they feel that their rights are being treaded on? I can't tell you how many times I've been in gun debates where Republicans have told me that you aren't taking my guns under any circumstance other than from my cold, dead hands. I've heard Republicans talk a great deal about killing anyone that steps on their property. They come for their guns. They usually fly a flag that says, "Don't tread on me." What does that mean? Oh, I know. I can tell you. Don't tread on me means don't fuck around with my rights. I know them, and I will defend them. So if that's the case, why is it some outlandish thing that when the left attacks them, you can't like start deciphering that? If the rhetoric on the right isn't as extreme as it is, would the left have a reason to attack? I'm just using X's logic here. He thinks that the left are the ones perpetuating a majority of the violence, despite the fact that facts don't bear that out. But let's say they did. Okay, why are they attacking? Haven't trans people been fired? Is it okay? It's okay. I did start the cooking process with the homemade wet dog food. God damn. 12 hours? Holy shit. Well, okay, let's say that the left is doing these things en masse. Well, why? Probably because we've seen actual trans people have their rights revoked, kicked out of the military. We're seeing actual stuff coming out to try to like stop trans things from even being allowed to transition. We're seeing a lot of people try and attack a lot of the institutions that protect them. We saw thousands of people lose their job. We see now millions of people dying globally because of the shutdown of U.S. aid. And we're also seeing people deported. We're seeing loved ones separated from their families. I don't know about you. If anyone came after one of my family members, I'm putting a bullet in them. It's that simple. I'm not going to even have a fucking second of remorse. I don't give a fuck about what some technicality is. No one's going to come after someone I love under any circumstance. The whole point of my existence is to defend my family and the things that I love. So if someone comes after someone I care about, hands down, I believe in self-defense, and I don't believe that the government has the right to override that. I believe that is an intrinsic right allowed to humans, no matter what. And I don't give a fuck if my family member's in the wrong. I'm not gonna let any harm befall someone I care about. Now that doesn't mean I'm not gonna let them meet justice if like they have to go to jail for something they've done, or but if you come after someone I love with some form of actual physical violence, or you're trying to kill them, bro, I'm gonna open fire before I ask a fucking question. Full send, full stop, don't give a fuck, 10 toes down. So like, if someone's infringing on someone's rights, and for the last, 30, 40 years, Republicans have run on don't tread on me, and you won't come after my rights, and if you do, I'll try and kill you? Okay, let's follow that through. Why would the left be being violent? Oh, it's probably because they feel like their rights are being stripped away. If the left is actually truly doing these horrendous and terrible things, why? It would be understandable if they did, but they didn't. Exactly. To some extent. I'm not saying that the left should be okay with that. I'm just trying to follow the through line and use right-wing talking points or right-wing logic to justify the actions. The actions shouldn't be justified. They're bad. Right now, though we are seeing some terrible shit happen, some people might be feeling that way. But if we were to simmer down the rhetoric, that would curb a lot of the violence. Because right now, we have a lot of rhetoric, and a lot of people feel like their lives are being put on the line. We have some people within Congress putting forth legislation to try and make banning illegal gay marriage. They want to try and ban gay marriage. I know a lot of gay guys that aren't going to be cool with that. A lot of gay women that aren't going to be cool with that. Things will get violent. I'm telling you that this line of thinking is dangerous. Full stop. We need to de-escalate as much as possible.
If they just spoke better, it would all stop.
All stop is the wrong word, but it would drastically reduce. Even if it stopped at 10 to 15%, that's an improvement. The goal is to make improvements in people's lives. I don't. How is this hard for people, man?
Brother, it's like you moved to California again, and you're eating the utopia pill. Like you have it all the way up your asshole. It's so stupid. It's brain dead. It's uneducated.
You have not yet said a fucking logical, coherent thing since you started talking. If you were to actually talk about who's being brain dead right now, X, it's you. You're literally saying just go after the people that perpetuate violence. or no, the ones that act on violence, but you're not saying anything about the ones that are perpetuating the violence. We're talking about poor solutions. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to make it through this debate, guys. There's no way.
And it's crazy. You're portraying these narratives like it's the truth. It's insane. You've lost your mind.
So nothing any of our leadership says, none of that matters. It doesn't influence any behavior whatsoever, you don't think? It doesn't play into it at all. Despite the fact that all the people that commit these crimes say they did it because of QAnon, because of Donald Trump, because of the election fraud, because of the guy that just shut up the CDC, because of the COVID vax lies. None of that mattered. Even though the people committing the crimes are telling you why they're doing it, they're actually all wrong. But xQc, you're right. It's just random.
Damn!
Can I mess with you? I feel like it's how would you say, result based. It's very result based thinking.
So then why are you telling anybody to not say anything at all? Why did Charlie Kirk just get killed then? Let's assume it was a left-wing shooter. That was just a random act of violence then? Why say anything at all? Why bother telling people to adjust their rhetoric at all if none of it actually matters?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like if Hassan should be able to say whatever he wants, I should be able to make whatever jokes I want. Why should any of it matter online then? If what the president of the United States says doesn't influence people's actions, then why should anybody give a fuck about the violent rhetoric they use anywhere?
Why do we hold certain fucking people accountable if none of it matters? If we're gonna sit here and pearl clutch over jokes that Destiny makes, or get offended by the things that Hassan is saying, or any of these things, why do we have these problems? Intrinsically, we know because they can lead to dangerous outcomes. But if we're not going to hold that same accountability to the fucking leader of the free world, how the fuck are we supposed to be, like, any of this supposed to matter? You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit.
Well, I'm trying to unpack that real quick. Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. That has validity. I absolutely agree that all the things should absolutely change. I was always on your camp on that it's all incredibly dangerous. All that is absolute dog shit.
Okay. But
you have to make an effort to denounce and condemn the one that actually fires the gun.
True.
That is the problem.
That's not the problem, though. You think it's a problem, but it's not. Every large media outlet and lawmaker on the left has unequivocally called it out as bad.
Facts.
Every person on the right is calling for fucking war and vengeance.
Oh my... see, that's the utopia pill.
Oh my god, it's not a utopia pill. I just watched a video of Matt Walsh doing it. Asmongold did it. The Hodge twins did it. Fucking Nick Fuentes did it. Sam Hyde did it. Fucking... Oh, we shouldn't even use them as examples. They're extreme as fuck. I think Ben Shapiro is the only one that kind of said, we need to stop this shit. But then at the very end he says, but if you want to keep fucking around and find out, fuck you, or something like that. But like, a lot of the people on the right, including the fucking president, are calling for escalation. And some of them are double and tripling down a few days later. Numerous people in Congress, numerous people in Senate, numerous leaders of the thought movement are doing these things. Like, this is fucking insane, dude.
I feel like this is like...
What's the utopia pill? What's the utopia pill? What do you mean by that?
It's the leftist dumb fuck colored glasses. The left is calling this out. No, they have not. Bro, the way that they portray these things that happen...
Click this and show your stream. Click this and show your stream, and then you can find counterexamples. I got nothing else to do today. Go ahead. Click this, show your stream, and let's just walk through both pictures. And then you can do all the counterexamples you want, okay?
Yeah, I'm looking at your picture. What about it?
Left. Click the left one.
Okay.
On the top left, we've got former President Barack Obama. We've got former President Joe Biden. We've got huge international mainstream media figure Mehdi Hassan. Bottom left, alternative left-wing media figure Cenk Uygur. We've got hopeful presidential candidate, current Senator Bernie Sanders. We've got Mamdani from New York City. We've got California Governor Gavin Newsom. We've got David Hogg, who's a DNC chair. We've got a representative, Pramila Jayapal, I can't pronounce her name. Huge center-left media figure Brian Tyler Cohen. Center-left media figure David Pakman, some of the largest people on the left wing on YouTube. We've got Crystal Ball. We've got Brian Krasenstein, huge fucking, Twitter lord, Hutch fellow Twitch streamer for you. Okay, go to the next fucking picture. What do we have from these people? These are some of the biggest right-wing accounts. You think that this is comparable? You think that both sides are doing the same thing?
I know Liv at TikTok said some extreme unhinged shit, and she's actively doxing people right now that have said mean things about Charlie Kirk. That's real. Excuse me, by the way.
I can send you videos of people on the Daily Wire. If you want, we can go through Matt Walsh's response, where he says the time for playing nice is over. We can go through Ben Shapiro's response.
What you did,
yeah.
What you did unironically, you sat there at your computer and you linked me this shit that compares Barack Obama to the libs of TikTok.
David Hogg is in the DNC chair.
Have had enough with your stupid dog shit.
Who is the video? Who is who is the guy?
I can't do it.
Who is the guy? Who is the guy in the top middle? Who is the Ron? Who is that guy? What's that video of? Who is that? Did he walk away? We can wait. Well, I can just play this for his chat next, actually. This is retweeted from the Daily Wire account, which is the largest right-wing alternative media outlet in the United States.
xQc just rage quit after being shown that he's a bitch ass. Okay, cool.
And it is a statement, part of a statement from Matt Walsh, who's one of the largest right-wing alternative media figures in the United States.
Over the past 24 hours, I've seen some in the media, some of the very same people who intentionally stoked murderous hatred against people like Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk specifically, now saying that we need to turn down the temperature and start having conversations. Well, Charlie tried to have conversations with you on the left, and you killed him for it.
Yeah, I'm back.
You're killing
Sorry, I
us
had to go deep on some money.
in our churches. You tried to kill our president. You killed one of our greatest advocates in Charlie Kirk. You have been openly cheering for and celebrating and encouraging.
We're just listening. We're listening to the statement that was made by the largest alternative media right-wing platform right now on the internet. Hold on, it's like 30 more seconds. One sec.
Political violence for years. Antifa,
is it
BLM.
end wokeness?
What?
Is it end wokeness? Or is it libs of TikTok?
It's Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Well-funded, highly orchestrated, widespread movements based in and fueled by violence. You made a hero out of Luigi Mangione. And you celebrate Charlie's death even now. It's too late to turn the temperature down. This is not a time to hold hands. It's a time for justice. This is a time for good to fight back against.
The amount of red flags when you call people evil and then you pursue justice, that's dangerous. The Nazis thought they were justified in what they were doing to the Jews and the Gypsies. Numerous acts of terrible violence around the world have been done under the guise of justice. And if this piece of shit, and they'd be like, nah, dude, we just need to call out the shooter. One, Matt Walsh is saying these things when we don't know the identity of the shooter yet. We don't even know the manifesto. We have nothing yet. We don't know why he did it. He's assuming these things. Now, if you had to put a gun to my head and ask me whether or not, realistically, the guy was on the left or the right, I'd probably say you 60% odds he's on the right. I mean, left. Yeah, they have more of an incentive to shoot that man. But there's still people that are against Donald Trump and Kirk on the right. If they don't think he went far enough.
Evil. It is time for the righteous to prevail.
The righteous to prevail. That's really dangerous. This guy works for the Daily Wire, one of the largest alternative media people on the planet. Like, this man gets more views than probably like CNN, CBS, and all these other fucking news networks combined. This is very, very bad. In fact, I would hopefully Ben Shapiro would turn around and terminate his contract over this. Trump shooter, not lefty. Luigi's not a lefty. Where are the examples of lefties doing these acts? True. There are none. In fact, all of the majority of, like, every major Democrat, every former president, all these people are calling it out and trying to de-escalate, okay?
For the sake of our country and for our families and our children.
Oh! go.
And for
Think of the kids. You got to kill all the Democrats because you need to protect the kids. We're going full circle with the baby. Let's go.
For the sake of our country and for our families and our children. And for Charlie.
What do you think he means when he says that? The time for talking is over.
What it means is I'm going to use this opportunity when the temperature is hot to get what I actually want in all this, and to fight back and get retaliation and revenge, and I'm a pussy, and I disagree with that. I disagree. That's what all I hear is this bullshit.
You're disagreeing with that's the largest right-wing alternative media outlet.
Well, I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't give a fuck what anybody on the right or the left says.
That's fine. But I'm saying
everybody's deliberately stupid. Everybody's deliberately.
Everybody. Find me a left-wing account doing this. That is like a reputable figure on the left, like a large left-wing media account, like a media person, not just like random Twitter people.
So the reason why I said earlier, you're wearing these utopic glasses, or whatever, and you're always having these labels for others, but not you. It's this: give me a big account, left, state representative, official, massive, huge, and famous. But you, right? When you make an argument, it's libs of TikTok and wokeness, dumb fuck, Christopher.
Dip shit. He was criticizing Donald Trump first. He's also criticizing Matt Walsh, the largest part of the largest alternative media sphere that have more viewers than mainstream media. He's not just going after libs of TikTok, though he will, because libs of TikTok is actively doxing people right now and has done for a very long time. Hey, there's cops right outside my window. Maybe I shouldn't stream this live with my window open. Winter needs to hurry up and get here, dude. God damn it.
For Ruffalo, what is some random Twitter cuck? How come?
Hold on.
Why
First
is
of all,
standard so high?
first of all,
for the left, look for the right. It's whatever. We'll use whatever we find on Twitter.
Number one. First of all, number one. Okay, I didn't make this compilation. I was more leaning on the first image than the second image. But number two, even at that second image you have, that guy in the top right there, Elon Musk, is the owner of the platform and the richest man in the world, and was in the fucking White House. I noticed you didn't read his name. That bottom right person, Laura Loomer, people don't know if it's lip injections or the fact that she's had her mouth on Trump's cock for so long that makes those lips so fucking big, but this bitch is in the White House every other fucking month giving guidance to the President of the United States, and she's currently on a doxing spree right now on Twitter for people that she is accusing of supporting violence. I can give you more. We just listened to Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire. I can read you out tweets from fucking Stephen Miller, who is the fucking deputy chief of staff in the White House office, who's literally fucking Hitler 2.0. Our hearts are shattered. America's lost one of its greatest champions. All of us now must dedicate ourselves to defeating the evil that stole Charlie from this world. What do you think he means by that? There's a much longer tweet from his figure if you want. I've got a tweet from Nancy Mace, not a tweet, a video of her, who's a sitting congressperson. If you want, we can listen to what she says. I can play you that one next if you want. You can soy the fuck out over the fact that this guy included a lot of some of the largest Twitter accounts that are constantly interacted with by large right-wing figures. But we can find lawmakers and yeah, go ahead. Repeat the same retarded shit you just said in the face of everything I just told you. Go ahead, say it again. Pretend that I just gave you random Twitter accounts when I just rattled off 5 massive. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I agreed that everybody that's doing this shit.
Not everybody. Oh, there it is. Everybody. True.
Okay. I forgot with you.
Can you admit there were some Jews? There were some Jews in the Holocaust that probably deserved it, right?
I'll
admit that. There probably were some piece of shit. There were probably some Jews. Say it. Just say it. Let me hear it. There were probably some Jews in the Holocaust that should have been fucking murdered. Okay, there were probably some. Statistically speaking, there has to have been.
Look at my POV.
There has to have been at least like 5 or 10. Come on.
Looking at the screen.
I know at least a couple Jews.
I'm looking at the screen with right-wing Andy. When I say everybody. And I'm looking at the screen. What I meant. Sorry, I need to use my words with you today because today, you're very fragile. The right-wing Andes, the big political figures on the right, are deliberately using dangerous language in a retaliatory manner to get payback for the act against one of their own. It's absolutely abysmal. It's awful. It's satanic. Boom. That's it.
Cool.
That's the story.
Okay.
I agree 100%.
Cool. Oh, that's good.
All
We
the people
agree.
are wrong. They're so wrong. It's disgusting.
Sure, that's fine.
Fuck all of them.
Every single event in the past decade has looked like this, with every single person on the left constantly saying, this isn't good, no violence, we can't do this. And every single person on the right saying, actually, that wasn't even us. We didn't do that. That was a Fed surrection. That was Fauci and the COVID vaccine. That guy was crazy, and we disavowed him. We don't even know that. There's Paul Pelosi's gay lover, and we don't know who mailed those pipe bombs. And the guy who shot him was maybe a secret liberal.
Okay.
So when it's one side doing it over and over and over again, and you come in and you say, both sides need to calm down, and then the left says, both sides need to calm down, and the right says, we're going to war, baby.
Not my argument. My argument is that.
To be fair, you don't even have an argument, X. I'm sorry.
People have gamified their language. People have gamified their influence. And they're finding ways at which it is effective so their shit actually happens the way they want it to happen. And the reality is that this is what the right does, and I agree. What the left does, I think, is also satanic and abysmal, is the downplaying of violence, the ignoring acts of violence, downplaying arson and firebombing as protests is fucking looting and blowing cars up as being illegal demonstration.
Which fucking member of the ruling class or the leaders of the movements defended these things? Other than maybe like a handful of the far left, like Omar fucking whatever her name was when she's part of the Social Justice 4. Which members of the left that were in the leading leading positions were saying these things? None.
Demonstration. That's also the problem. They're both.
It's not.
It's awful. But you don't declare that.
No, the difference, X.
I'm gonna make a joke on Twitter to get some likes about this.
I already asked you the difference, X. The difference is that for Biden to get elected, Biden had to say that the rioting that happened over the BLM riots was bad, and he said that. And when Biden
said it multiple times.
Came into office, you know what he didn't do? He didn't pardon every single BLM rioter. When Trump came into office, he pardoned every single Jan 6er, even the people who were convicted of seditious treason.
Yep.
Do you see do you understand the difference there?
There is a stark difference, and ignoring that difference is dangerous.
What I'm saying is that one villain stands on business and the other one doesn't, and that's somehow.
Why is Biden a villain? How Biden de-escalated so many things. How in what world is he a villain? Like, the fucking left or right-wing media sphere has poisoned so many fucking brains. Bro, I was against the radical left too, man. How is it that I'm not fucking losing my shit? How is it that I can still see the difference? Like, what's wrong with these people?
How a way to make one better than the other. It's both awful.
No, one side is inviting violence and the other side is trying to tone it down.
Facts.
And it's constantly that dynamic. It is always Trump stoking the flames. It is always Trump telling people to be more violent. It is always Trump denying that anything even happened. Oh, they were good people on both sides. I don't know anything about...
Hold on. I'll make a good argument. I want you to try to break this down and give him an argument the validity that it deserves, okay? I've always said this.
However, we can say that even though that, like, our side, the left already advocates by saying that the violence is bad. So, like, they're not already mutually the same thing. But the violence on the left when the left goes too far is bad. And we can say that we can bite that bullet. There's nothing wrong with that. Violence is violence. Violence is bad. We should call it out. But then we have to change the conversation about why the violence is happening, like we said earlier. And that's where the right just won't ever do that. And that's why the right is always going to be lesser than until they step the fuck up and start policing their own side.
I don't know very often, but I think about it a lot. This is like exactly how a Counter-Strike lobby is when there's a cheater. It is the exact same thing. If you are playing in a game and you're queuing with a cheater, right? And everybody else is cheating, right? And you don't denounce it, you don't say, oh, fuck this guy, you don't report him, you don't kick him, you don't ban him, you just, guys, oh, he's on my side, he's killing everybody and I'm winning the game? I don't even know. Maybe he's cheating, I don't know. I just like playing with him, haha.
I mean, that's not a bad analogy. So like I'm gonna use League of Legends because I'm not a Counter-Strike player. I have morals. No, I'm joking. But like, let's say that if you wanted to get serious with it, when you're in a League of Legends match and you're playing ranked or something, and because the games that matter, every once in a while you're gonna get a game where you get a free win, where someone on the enemy team AFKs or is intentionally feeding or something like that. No disrespect, but the other side seems to be more childlike and capable of understanding complex ideas. I mean, I agree with that too. If you have someone on the enemy team that's making your game super easy, there are two ways. There are two ways to look at it. One of them, you can thank them for the free LP, because eventually at one point you're going to have someone on your team that does the same thing, that essentially ruins your game and gives them a free win. The other thing you can do is be upset that the integrity of the match is being destroyed. And that's where I kind of sit. I don't like to get a free win in League of Legends just because I want my LP. I want to earn my rank, and I want to earn my place. Now, statistically speaking, the free wins you get are very small. They're never really going to give you a rank outside of your ranking, but the integrity of the game is going to be at risk. So what he's saying here is, if there's a cheater and you keep playing with that cheater and he keeps giving you a bunch of shit, free LP, free gains, free wins, you're kind of being part of the problem. And I agree. But the difference is that xQc is not going to latch on to, because he's too fucking brain dead, is that if you mean with the right and the far right, then yes, both sides. Hoo-hoo. If you were to truly believe in xQ's side, that's what the left already does. The left already calls out the violence. Now, the leaders of the left, obviously, if you had to ask me if a bunch of people on the left were unhinged, yeah, man. Hassan has 2 million subscribers or some shit. He has 40 to 50,000 viewers. A majority of those people are fucking unhinged. Majority of those people are illiberal people. And it's the reason why people like Destiny, Hutch, myself, even though I'm a much smaller creator, are very mean to Hassan, because Hassan is spreading the same MAGA type bullshit that MAGA does. And it's dangerous. And if we get blue MAGA and red MAGA fighting with one another, we will definitely have a civil fucking war. That is our attempt to police our side and cool down the temperature. We're doing internal critiques on the left all the time. How often do you see that on the right?
And over and over again, you are constantly green lighting the act, and you're reinforcing the thought that this is okay to do. And
Who
we'll
is
do
green?
that.
There are not large
The
figures
left
on the left.
does that all the time.
X, give me an example.
Cash in the W.
Who?
You cannot hold bad ideas are like weeds. They need to be pulled out or they will take over. Yes. Yeah. You cannot hold the entire... I joined Gamergate pretty early on. Okay? I was huge into Gamergate because I was against the corruption in the gaming sphere. I didn't like the fact that corporations were paying people to give reviews, giving them free boat trips to give them a positive review in IGN. Because there was a time when people trusted IGN or GameSpot or whatever these fucking things were. We used to give a fuck about these things because they used to inform us of what to spend our money on. Game prices were pretty high when we were younger. $60, though it doesn't seem like a lot now. Back when people were making $7 an hour, that was a lot of fucking money. You'd have to work half a day to afford a fucking video game. A lot of us were very cautious with our money. So I joined the Gamergate movement. I was on page with that. When the Gamergate movement got a little radicalized, I didn't like it as much. When the people leading the Gamergate, the big voices in that sphere, started getting radical, I bolted the fuck out of there. Because the problem is, when the movement starts getting taken over by radical shit, it changes. So, one, you can't hold the entire movement accountable for a few bad actors within the ground floor when they are nobodies in the movement. There are no gatekeepers to stop people from claiming that they're part of a thing. You have to look at the leaders of the movement. Because if the leaders aren't willing to call out the radicals that do enter their movement and start doing radical shit, that means they condone it and not do that. The fact that you can't find prolific fucking left-wing voices calling to ramp up the violence, but you can on the right, is the problem. And the fact that he just can't do this without thinking it's party line bullshit is different. It's wrong. There's nothing wrong with calling out the hypocrisy. That's the point of it, man.
Who on the left is greenlighting this behavior? There are not large figures on the left doing this. It's crazy people don't
denounce act of violence.
Saying the left aren't as bad ignores the attempt on winning less bad. It's just an excuse. Not at all. Again, all of the people on the left that are active members of our leadership apparatus called out the assassination attempt. It is different than those on the right that are the leaders of that apparatus that aren't. And acting like it's the same is not true. There is a difference between those actions.
Violence.
Who does?
Bro.
What I'm telling you is, if you look at the leadership on the left, if you look at the media, if you look at the lawmakers, if you look at the presidents, the left doesn't do this. The right does.
Oh. You again?
Give me one example. Just one example. One example.
It is the what example? Like what? Gavin Newsom, whoever the fuck mayor of whatever city. Bro, it's like this event isn't some. Let me guess. Oh, this is a good one. Let me guess. It's not some arson or acts of violence. This is people demonstrating their.
How do you keep going back to BLM, Biden, Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom? All these people called out the violence when it happened. All of them. How do you keep going back to this without fucking reconciling the fact that the people that did the violence were condemned, where they were charged with fucking crimes and they went to jail? And yes, the shooter against Donald Trump was a registered Republican. And there's a reason why Donald Trump hasn't pursued releasing more information about it. Because if he was a Democrat, do you think Donald Trump would be holding on to that information? He'd be pumping that out in real time so that he can justify more sanctions and actions against Democratic people. Like, you just have to follow the motivation.
Their right to freedom and what
Gavin Newsom, absolutely. You're such a ghoulish fuck. Gavin Newsom absolutely never said that. Find me the fucking tweet where he said that when he encouraged violence in LA, Gavin told the feds to fuck off because they had it handled. And he told people that he wouldn't accept violent rioting, and they arrested motherfuckers that were violent rioting.
Oh yeah, okay. So the ICE things, yes. Gavin Newsom did tell violence was not going to happen. He did put cops on the ground. He did start arresting people when they got violent. Gavin Newsom definitely did that. Things got way worse when Donald Trump unconstitutionally sent the National Guard there without the request of the governor. So yes, again, xQc is just wrong on the facts here. Gavin Newsom called out the violence. He tried to handle the situation before it escalated. Donald Trump wanted escalation. Yet again, another example of the left doing things within the parameters and the right breaking both not only the rules, but also constitutional fucking law and going against state rights, which is their entire point. They defend state rights all the time, and that's why they want to kick abortion back to the states.
Where are you talking about the shit that just happened in the last few months when the president of the United States deployed the National Guard illegally, by the way, against the will of the sitting governor, by the way, with 600 additional Marine reinforcements, by the way, when California themselves and LA said they had it handled? You're taking a situation where the president was unhinged, was out of pocket, was against the law, and was acting as a fucking dictator, and you're spinning this as though Gavin Newsom did something wrong? Do you understand how absolutely fucking brain broken you are, right? Like, even worse than the normal Quebecois who happens to be in the U.S., like, sitting here. Do you understand how I need you to admit? No, you're not.
Okay, he is now sitting the National Guard from Memphis next. Glorious, isn't it? You know what I mean? Now, it just dawned on me that maybe xQc is going to be a little light on Trump so he doesn't get deported. Just saying.
Setting up business is the most fucking retarded shit I've ever heard you say in my entire
disagree.
life. It's so
Disagree.
fucking retarded. Find me the
Disagree.
tweet. Find me where Gavin was saying it was okay for the writing to happen. I'll wait. I got nothing to do. Go. Do it. Or
Bro,
wait, someone in
bro.
your chat can find it. I want to see it.
What are you talking about? I wasn't even speaking about that either. You went on a tangent for no reason.
Well, you didn't specify, dipshit.
The wording, the portrayal, avoiding the actual issue, not saying.
No, avoiding
It's
what
a
issue?
Oh my fucking god.
Gavin directly disavowed the riot, and he said it was bad. He said they were going to arrest people for doing it. What are you talking about?
We're going to arrest people that do this, guys. We don't like this over here, guys.
Yeah, he said that. They did it. He said that, and they did it.
Getting cooked, dude. I'm sorry. X, you just got to stop, man. You're just wrong.
You acknowledge it at the same time. Donald Trump was illegally sending
I'm
the military to California.
I'm not going to convince you. I'm not going to convince you.
Yeah, because it's the facts. I know. On the facts, the facts suck. Facts are annoying.
No,
but
no,
this is,
I'm never going to convince you.
The next
I'm
guy
not
that you
gonna
see
convince you.
dying, please don't fucking pretend that you give a fuck, okay? Play the clip a few times, get some fucking laughs, go and fucking virgin. Don't pretend you actually give a fuck about any of this shit. Because you guys are the problem. It is your fault. It is your fault. People like you and Asmongold are the worst.
I am the most consistent anti-violence you'll ever.
Anti-violence doesn't mean anything. Almost everybody is anti-violence. The reason why, okay, do you know how you stop someone from being anti-violence? Pretty simple. Intrinsically, we know self-defense is a real thing. We know that we should defend ourselves. Most people that do self-defense aren't being violent. They're defending themselves. Okay? So what happens when you take a group of people, Americans, who are anti-violent, and you start to change the language on how you describe the situation? Pretty simple. It's pretty simple, really. You start calling them demons. You call them evil. You call them monsters. You paint them in a terrible light so that you can otherize them. So then you can then say it's self-defense to defend yourself. There's a reason why Charlie Kirk says that they're trying to kill us. Not Charlie Kirk, I apologize. Matt Walsh. Because then it makes it about self-defense. Anti-violence people can be about self-defense. Because we have an intrinsic desire to keep ourselves alive. We have a responsibility to do so. Some of us are parents. Some of us are lovers. Us being around to further grow our economy is good. Especially those of us that are in the workforce that are creating things with our hands. We're building things. You can even come up with an economic reason for self-defense. So let's say you're anti-violence. There's a Black Mirror episode about that. See, I didn't even know that. You can be anti-violence and still do violent things. All you have to do is be convinced that violence is the option. The way you can convince someone that violence is an option is through a lens of self-defense. And it's what the Republicans have done for years. That's why they otherize immigrants. It's why they, spew so much hateful rhetoric. It's why they always bring up Lake and Riley. It's why even back when Tucker Carlson was on Fox News after Bill O'Reilly was let go, he would always talk about those that are invading our country. Glenn Beck has done it for fucking years. There's even a point when Glenn Beck came out, when he was having a conversation, I believe, with someone on the left, where he openly admitted that he stoked the flames and he was wrong for doing so, and then fell right back into it when there was monetary gain to do so. Fucking A.
Yes, I agree.
I am so
consistently
consistent.
fucking
It's
retarded.
Crazy.
Consistently retarded.
It's crazy. Yo, Destiny, you understand it? This might be the world, okay? Doing the right thing, more often than not, the vast majority of the time, is taking L's. Because being actually better than whoever you're trying to denounce as the bad person means that you take an L, and you don't change your behavior. Oh, you're going to do
Can you give me one example? Give me one example. Can you give me one example in human history of that happening? Give me one example. Give me one example. Give me one example of that happening. When the Brits were taxing Americans without representation, did they just sit and take it? In the Civil War, when shots were fired at Fort Sumter and the South seceded from the United States, did they just take it?
So what you're saying
When
is that
Germany was steamrolling all of Europe,
accelerationism equals win.
who's talking
That's
about
what you're saying.
accelerationism? No, I'm asking you, give me one example where somebody sat and took it and took L after L after L, and they magically win at the end. You know where that happens? It happens in anime and Marvel movies. Show me in the real world where this happens.
In what sense?
Where somebody takes L after L after L, and they just sit there and lose over and over again, but they somehow magically win at the end.
Yeah, we typically just call those people losers.
Where it's not a fucking anime. Where does this happen?
I would say, just a full transparency, the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King let themselves get sprayed with fire hoses, attacked by dogs, and they chose not to be violent. You can just look to Gandhi as well. I mean, there are examples of being gracious in defeat, or being gracious in, like, not violent, or rising above the situation, but those are very rare, and there has to be an environment for it. Oh, someone said Gandhi.
What you're advocating for is extinction on one side, and you're pretending there's some morality in it because you're not affected. That's all you're doing at the end of the day. You people like you and Asmongold, you're not affected.
That is rich. That is rich. That is rich. That is incredible.
It's not really rich because you are not on the left. So, like, if all Democrats get eradicated tomorrow, it's not going to affect you in the slightest. In fact, you might have an easier go about it because there's going to be less people to call you on your bullshit. There's an incentive for you to continue to spread that. Dipshit.
Maybe I should say that, by the way. While you're saying it's not affected, it's a classic. It's a classic.
A classic how?
Why? It's just a classic. It's a classic because the left always gets free W's all the time, out of not denouncing and skirting around.
Everyone on the left is denouncing. The systems that are in place intrinsically benefit those on the right. The Electoral College is the reason why we even have Republican parties. Like, a majority of the states that are red are so fucking poor, they require people on the fucking left to subsidize their dog shit states. They're run so goddamn poor that they literally have to rely on New York and fucking Los Angeles to front a majority of the goddamn bills. What do you mean? What intrinsic W's do the fucking Democrats ever get other than having better messaging, and that's why they typically win the popular vote? I want the Electoral College out. Yeah, me too. But I understand why it's there. Two major cities shouldn't be able to dictate every election. So we need to have some kind of, like, leverage to help those that are on the minority, which are Republicans, by the way. So, like, we had one president since, Reagan, that was on the right that won the popular vote. And a lot of people are already regretting their vote for Donald Trump. Like, come on, man. What intrinsic W's do liberals get? Do Democrats get? Democrats are the only party right now that have to constantly fend out the radical side while also trying to, like, earn favor in the middle. It's crazy, dude.
Bad words. This is not an epidemic, guys. This is a cultural phenomenon.
Wait, show me where Gavin. Watch this. Show me where Gavin says that this is. What is he? What do you want him to say here that he didn't say? This is in regards to the riots a few months ago.
Like it.
Why send you on Twitter or on Discord?
If you incite violence or destroy our communities, you're going to be held to account. That kind of criminal behavior will not be tolerated. Full stop. Already more than 200.
Guys, let me translate this to English so people that don't understand what he's saying. Guys, if you are guys, by the way, let me tell you, I'm on a 27 win streak in CS. If you cheat in my games, we will come after you. We will get you. We will ban you. By the way, I'm on a 73 win streak right now with this guy on my team. We will come after and we will get you. You will not cheat in our lobby.
Okay. So now he's shifting the argument. He's saying, okay, obviously Gavin Newsom is coming after them, but it's performative and he doesn't mean it. What he really means is that we're going to crucify all of you. He's inferring whatever the fuck he wants based off of his own opinion about the left. None of this is based off of, I don't know, I think popular vote should win. So, you know, if we did not have that maybe would make everyone act differently. So like, yeah, you said it's not just 2 states or whatever would elect people. Well, I mean, Texas is starting to give us a run for our money. I don't know, I'm coming. No, I mean, you're right. Like, the popular vote should be the thing that determines the presidency. But the way that our states are set up and the way that our populations are, it's just a little unfair to do that. Because then that means people will just campaign in New York, Texas, and, you know, California. Which now it's not much different because now they just campaign in electoral swing states. I mean, it's a complex issue that you really have to dive into. What xQc is doing here is just really dangerous. He's literally speaking as if he knows what Gavin Newsom really means. And do you not... That's dangerous. That's really dangerous. That doesn't help anybody.
Please, you will not, and we will report you every time. By the way, guys, I'm currently rank 1 with this doing away with the cheater. We're gonna get you. It's fucking weird. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. Just talking, ignoring the act. It's, bro, it's cuck shit. It's cuck shit. The man is not enough business.
Texas is non-voting state. The problem with popular vote is that you elect a populist, someone who promises cake today. Yep, exactly. And I am not a populism guy because anyone can tell you anything and they can use that as a means to get into power, kind of like Trump did and flip the script once in there. Trump told you he's going to take care of things, he's going to lower prices, he's going to help everyday working people. Whoa, hit the wall.
He does not stand on business.
He does stand on business. They arrested people. But if you want to use a cheating example, like you see, fine, let's use a cheating example. What happens in a game where you've got some people that cheat and some people that don't? What happens? There's one of two things can happen. You've played games, I played games. You know the answer. There's only one of two ways that situation can turn out. If there are people in games that cheat and people in games that don't cheat. Tell me what are the 2 ways that this can end up?
People get fed up and now everybody's cheating.
Yes, that's one way. Yeah. So the game is overrun by cheaters. You see this happen especially with free-to-play stuff, right? Or 2, what happens? The cheaters all get banned, right? There is no world where you go into those games and you tell everybody else, guys, just stop cheating. Guys, just stop cheating and they'll go away. Guys, just stop cheating. That never happens because what would it lead to? It would lead to extinction. And that's what happens in every single one of those. For a while, it happened with PUBG, it happened with CSGO, it happened with every free-to-play game in the world where it just got overrun by cheaters. And unless somebody comes in and bans them, then they take over and they just run shit.
I think if you make it a point to always shame people and always recurve the narrative, say, don't do this shit. It is my understanding that you're doing the right thing and you are the better person. Is what it is. What about it? This is what I think. You're doing the right thing. And I don't do this. Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna dox the people that are cheating. No, I think that's bullshit. I think it's all dog shit. I think people can just do better, man. It's that simple.
Really? Yeah, so what's one game where the cheating just disappeared without people getting, you say doxed, how about sued? Right? Didn't that happen to big cheat makers where they literally got fucking sued by Blizzard? I think for at least one of them. Or where people get banned. They get kicked out, deported. What game fixed the cheating problem magically? Ever?
Valorant.
Really? Valorant? Don't they literally have a fucking...
Valorant had to also install an anti-cheat in your kernel. So, like... Yeah, and this is why I like Destiny, man. He's pretty good on the fly. This motherfucker just used his example and shoved it up his own ass in a way that was beautiful, baby.
RAM injection program that Riot uses to...
They mine Bitcoin on my PC and I let them. I am a cuck of Bitcoin.
Obviously that example doesn't work then.
The Chinese spyware is in my ass as we speak, digging a hole, and I love it.
Okay,
what
so
about...
See? I can point to this too. I got Valorant right here. I also got League of Legends right here. That kernel is open right here. Vanguard, Riot Vanguard. Right now, the fucking government of whatever the fuck that is has got full control inside the Cheekists.
That example doesn't work then. There's somebody else that's enforcing that. We have nobody enforcing that in the United States. One side is just cheating right now with impunity. And you're pretending that it's going to magically go away. Why? They keep winning games. Trump won the last election. Cheating. They're just going to keep winning.
Oh, so now again. He's cheating. He's cheating. Right? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you're going with? This?
Well, this is.
Oh, they're cheating. No.
This is your analogy. You said Governor Newsom was cheating. What was your evidence to suggest that?
I think it's rigged. I think saying that anything is rigged is like, unless there's proof that it's rigged. I mean, let's be honest. It's just, you're just saying things. Like, what about?
Sure. Here's proof that it was rigged. The fact that he pardoned every single person that showed up at the Capitol to insurrect the government that he ordered to be there.
My job is cybersecurity. Exactly, dude. I use this for gaming and YouTube. And I don't make enough money on YouTube for it to be scary yet.
Told people to come there. That would be one example of rigging. I can give you like 20 more if you want.
Boy. Example of rigging how?
Donald Trump told everybody that the 2020 election was rigged. 80% plus of conservatives today still think the 2020 election was rigged. They showed up at the Capitol to protest the election and then eventually to riot in the White House.
I don't know why he's not including the electors plot, because that's something you can directly, like, the problem with linking, like, I agree that Donald Trump led an insurrection on January 6th, but I think the most damning evidence for that is the electors plot beforehand, where William Barr even resigned and like half of his DOJ tried to walk the fuck out for the shit that he was doing in the Department of Justice. You should probably use that while you lead into this, but that's just my opinion, D.
And eventually to kick out the lawmakers so that they could prevent the peaceful transfer of power. Every single person involved with that, when Donald Trump was elected again, was pardoned. He said it's okay, it's cool. People that would
that's wild to me. Yes, that all that is a bit, that's abysmal. It's a failure of everything that every state that is said on. It's an absolute disaster.
Okay. Is there a single equivalent action that anybody on the left has done?
Why, you mean like when Biden pardoned his the crack smoker?
He pardoned his son, one person, who was being wrongfully persecuted for lying on a fucking gun form because he was a felon or something, but he was big lies. 2020 was stolen. January 6th was just a protest. Trump hasn't received massive bribes from foreign governments, including Putin and the Saudis. Then he just received like a $400 million plane.
Why did Biden pardon his son?
I don't know. You tell me.
Do you know
I said he wouldn't do it.
Do you know what two crimes? Do you know what two crimes he was convicted for?
Oh, no, okay.
Hunter Biden was convicted for lying on a federal tax.
So now you do it. Now you're doing charitability.
Oh, you don't like the facts. You don't like the facts.
Now you're doing
charitability. Charitable. I'm not being charitable. I was just telling you a factual record of what was going on. But you don't like the facts because they bother. Yeah, they bother you. Oh, you want to tell me?
No, I'm not one of those guys. Okay.
Hunter Biden was convicted for two things. One, he was convicted for tax evasion in 2019 on taxes that he'd already paid back, that him and the IRS had already settled on. They were fully paid back. One. And then two, he was convicted for lying on a 4473 because he smoked crack at the same time that he bought his gun. This was after the Republicans had investigated him for 4 years, claiming that he was conspiring in Burisma in Ukraine to do illegal international business.
And they found no evidence, despite looking through it for 4 years. Congress said they had multiple opportunities to try and push it through, and they just couldn't. They could not find anything due to corruption. They got Hunter Biden on a fucking gun form because he was smoking crack at the same time. And the other one was something that was already working out with the IRS.
Okay. Joe Biden pardoned him.
So he had paid his taxes. Is that how it actually went down?
Yes.
Is that an accurate, like documented thing?
Because Wikipedia if you don't believe me, or Google it. Yes, they were all paid back already.
Well,
yes.
I just feel like this is. It sounds a little bit like a fairy tale.
It's probably because the right-wing apparatus. Biden did also pardon Fauci. Trump was liable to go after him for embarrassing him during COVID. Fauci didn't break any laws, but Biden knew Trump would yes, 100%. Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say.
You don't believe me, or Google it.
The reason why X here does not know the fucking facts about that is because he only is participating in the fucking media sphere, and the media sphere is almost predominantly controlled by the left. And he threw away the gun. Exactly, dude. This is the perfect example. This encapsulates everything that's going on. the right controls the entire media sphere, and I don't know how they've gained that power. I don't know how they have the ability to fucking control the narrative. Don't get me wrong. Oh my God, facts. He's calling a fairy tale. And these guys have real political power, by the way. This guy could probably convince half of his audience to vote for Donald Trump. Maybe even more, just by showing up there with Aiden Ross.
Yes, they were all paid back already.
Well,
yes.
I just feel like this is, it sounds a little bit like a fairy tale. It could not be.
Wow. Oh, that's
But-
crazy how all the
Misinformation.
Republican shit is so fucking horrible and bad, but it's literally on the open. If any of you fucking retards would take 2 seconds to read about it, but yes,
Well, I'm not
they were
Republican.
paid
I'm
back.
not Republican.
They were
I'm not
paid.
Republican.
You are in practice. Yeah, of course you are. What do you mean? Obviously, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. I identity politics masturbated again.
It's not
all good.
identity
Alright.
politics. It's just like a guy walks out of a room with cum leaking out of his asshole in his mouth and says, "I'm not gay." It doesn't really mean much. As long as you still get fucked in the ass and you take dick in your mouth, right? You carry all the Trump talking points and you do everything that they want you to do. It doesn't matter what the fuck you call yourself.
Okay.
At the end of the day, right? A Trump dick suck is a Trump dick suck.
Then you're a radical left. Then you're a radical left because you're a fucking short gnome with fucking blue hair doing cuck shit.
A radical.
There you go.
I'm the radical left.
Well,
who
I mean,
fights with, who
because
half my fights with.
that's how I see it.
X.
That's how I see it.
Sure.
That's how I see it.
If you
so
want
I mean, I said it. So
X, you and I are standing in front of an assassin right now, and we have to figure out who's criticized who more. Have I criticized the far left more, or have you criticized Donald Trump more? Who's getting shot in that circumstance? Are you fucking serious? I'm literally Hassan's like waking nightmare, and you're telling me that I'm a radical leftist? Like, you would remember who you're talking to?
Okay, well, Hassan is a post radical, where it's a new meta that I made. It's post radical. It's accepted terrorism. Yeah, I think that's.
No, yeah, I'm not cool with it either. You're just using an example to appeal to his audience, because his audience is probably someone that would talk that way. But yeah, no, I don't like the whole using gay as an insult there.
Being a terrorist sympathetic person, that's fucking awful. That's post radical. That's what I say.
Sure. So I think I've easily exceeded my threshold for ever being called a far leftist. I think I've got my creds critiquing the far left. So I don't know how you could possibly say I'm critiquing the far left, but you refuse to call out Donald Trump and the right for constantly evading.
I go on the right all the time. That's crazy.
Saying both sides and saying everyone does it is not the same.
I call out the right all the time.
If
Buddy,
you had to guess,
that is it,
if you had to guess for percentage of time, I'm just curious. If you had to guess percentage-wise, this is how much percentage time I criticize Donald Trump and the people in Congress versus how much time I criticize everything on the left. What do you think the split is there?
Post-factual, exactly.
I don't know.
Do you think it's like 50-50? Do you think it's like 40-60? Do you think it's like... My guess is it's like 95-5, maybe. 5 is generous. I don't think I've ever heard you call out Trump before in my entire life.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, maybe it's more of a thing where like an I fell off argument type thing, but that's so false. It's crazy.
Okay?
That is being so. It generally is just being unfair and uncharitable. It is what it is.
Okay, for people in xQc's chat, does he call out Trump and I just miss it? Maybe I do. It could be. By the way, I admit it, because maybe my chat just doesn't show me those clips. It's possible. You did do the advertisement with Aiden Frost. That's true, but
I did not. I mean, I was doing audio checks, but it's all good.
really,
I was
I
looking
thought I
at
saw
friend.
pictures and everything of you with him and all that. Okay, we got some yeses, nos. Yes,
But which one has
Barely.
been posted? Which one have I posted on my own behalf? Where have I showed that? Oh yeah, like this is something. I want it. I'm doing this, dude. That's not how it happened.
Trust me, man. I've wanted to click off this video like 8 times. I just don't want to be a dick that doesn't finish the original content. So even though these videos will probably never be seen by like the people that are in it, I just never want to hear the whole, oh, you didn't watch the whole context. And I have PTSD from hearing Hassan Piker say that fucking every goddamn time anyone fucking criticizes his ass.
That is the standard. Which if somebody, let's say, had a job to be part of the, no, dude, you cannot be against the left. You have a job that is in the realm of the left. You are paid by the left. You are funded. You are an agent. Like, dudes, come on, bro. It's like some really like. I think it's just like you're thinking, but it's whatever.
Wait,
I think
what?
It's weak sauce. I think it's weak sauce. It's weak
wait,
sauce.
hold on. I don't understand what you were saying. Could you rephrase it?
Yeah, I mean, if this is a smoking gun, like, oh, dude, you on that stream, like that's who you associate with.
No, I'm not saying that's
like,
the smoking gun. I don't even care that much about that. I'm just saying that in the grand totality of things, the strategy on the right is always the far right will never take responsibility for anything. Will always throw bombs at the far left. Useful people like you and Asmongold, well, he's probably far right now, but you guys will just say, oh, it's both sides. And then people on the left will have to sit there and say, oh, guys, maybe it's both sides. And that's it. Over and over and over and over and over again. For the last 10 years, that's what we've done.
You know what's sad? You would actually be very impressed by the amount of people that try to get streams and get stuff done with the left, with Kamala, and with their to help their campaign for free, voluntarily, right? You would be actually impressed and how unreceptive they are, and how stupid they are, and how it is their fault of the elections because they have branding problems. They're dog shit. Bro, the only one piece of media they did with somebody that talks to the youth a little bit is the
Paid by the left. As far as I know, the genuine left tend to be poor as fuck. Greed for money is not a priority for people to get rich. Agreed. Yeah, that's... And who's being paid on the left? Like, other than, like, the recent thing around BTC and Chorus, where he created a pact to, like, actually pay small content creators that are liberals. What are we talking about here? Like, if we want to talk about people that are getting paid to espouse people, like, ideas, you can just look to the right. Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, fucking Matt Christensen, all got paid to push Russian propaganda, and all of them are right-leaning and have right-leaning opinions, and almost all of these people have been calling for violence since the shooting happened. What are we talking about here? Like the boogeymen of the George Soros's type or whatever. Meanwhile, Elon Musk actually paid people to vote for Donald Trump. Like, all of the richest men in this country support Donald Trump right now. What are we talking about? The right has the deepest pockets in the industry. What? Okay.
the guy that fucked the girl that was suing for 20 mil for free and he fucking bagged this dumb fuck, fucking Shannon Sharpie. Guys, I'm not gonna.
Right. Kane, look at the Koch brothers, the Costa Institute, the money from oil. It's fucking, it's crazy, dude.
Do a streamer or whatever. I'm not gonna do this massive event where we get a lot of publicity. I'm gonna do the Shannon Sharpie podcast. That'll get them going. What a waste of fucking time. The left has fallen, and some people are fucking lock in on the fucking. These people are almost losing deliberately. It is wild. It's bro.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything in what you're talking about? What are we doing right now? I should have clicked off this video, man. We're almost done. Holy
Shannon
fuck.
Sharpie podcast. The only piece of media that's angled towards the youth thing. We lost the youth vote. Oh, these fucking red-pilled right-wing or corrupting the youth, whatever. What have you been doing? What have they been doing? They alienated everybody like a bunch of fucking cocklords. Jesus Christ.
What? I have no... How did this end up with you shitting on the left? I don't even know what we're talking about right now. What?
True. And that is true. And that is true. What I'm saying is that if given the opportunity, I would have not been on the background of a fucking Trump stream. I would have been at the...
By the way, you being into politics, have you looked at the right-wing think tanks? Like the Cato Institute? I could tell you some stories. I don't know much about that, to be honest. And then you got me terrified. Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle any more fucking evil shit from the right.
The forefront of a Kamala stream, right? But these people are fucking brain dead. Don't hold it against me. That they have zero IQ. That they don't know how to conduct a fucking political campaign to make their candidate win the fucking election. They're fucking...
Okay, even if that's all true, dipshit, what's the negative consequence of that? They lost the election. Okay? Did people die? Like, what are we talking about right now? If Kamala Harris, who only had like 4 or 5 months to run a campaign, didn't run the best fucking campaign, she paid for that in real time. She lost. Okay? What does this have to do with violent rhetoric from the fucking right or the left? What are we? What a dipshit fucking segue into something that has nothing to do with anything.
Stupid.
Yeah, I agree. They have issues, yeah, for sure. But part of the issue, the thing that I'm fighting on right now, is the media environment. The reason why they're so brain broken is because they see people like you laugh when people like Trump say the most abhorrent, disgusting, fucked up shit in the universe. And
Exactly, dude. When you say both sides and then you end up only supporting one side, it's not both sides. You're just using them as an attack lane so that you can shit on them so you don't have to absorb any of the responsibility of what your side is doing. Like I said, both sides were bad, and it's like, okay, then why are you single-handedly supporting one side when it comes down to vote? If you think both sides are bad, what are the differences of the side that you're voting for that makes you vote for them? And why?
And then you guys lose your fucking mind when Hillary Clinton says like basket of deplorables. And it makes the media environment really fucking confusing. When they see a mass shooting happen, then everyone on the right is calling for fucking war. And then the president is deploying the National Guard and the military to states. And people you are like, wow, president of peace, LOL, Department of War. That's so epic, XD, XD. And then you look at Biden and you're like, oh my God, the Democrats are so violent all the time.
The Cato Institute are behind research making human climate change look uncertain. Oh, I have decades of experience having to follow the money, and so much came from the Koch brothers. Jesus Christ. That's probably the same shit that Jordan Peterson stumbled into when his brain got melted in real time. Jesus.
Hi, because look at this account on Twitter. Yeah, it's a really confusing and a difficult media environment to navigate. When any fair-minded person, when any apolitical person would look at what's going on in the U.S. right now, go like, wow, it's not really that surprising that it's super violent. Your president, Donald Trump, is probably the most divisive figure in probably in at least the last century of U.S. history, right? He's the least popular president right now. The second least popular was him in term 1. And you're turning around and it's like, oh, both sides.
Utah governor urges national unity. So they are saying, well, I hope he's doing that, though. Okay. Yes, national unity is a good thing.
Both sides. He has no responsibility for anything that happens. Like, you just sat here and told me that the president of the United States' own rhetoric doesn't matter in influencing its citizens. Like, what the fuck? Well, you spend half your time here railing against me making edgy tweets or Hassan saying bad shit. Why does it matter?
I think words are whatever. I think words are whatever.
What do you mean?
Okay, so then no one should ever take your opinion ever again when you're sitting here talking shit about Hassan. What's the point of calling out Hassan's actions on stream when you don't believe that words matter? Anyone pointing out that Trump has more than doubled his wealth since the election? His meme coin, yes, bought foreign investors. The corruption and money is blatant. Yeah, dude, his fucking meme coin is like the amount of people that complain about Nancy Pelosi's net worth when she's like worth $1 million or $2 million. And then Donald Trump became a billionaire or twice over and doubled that shit because of that meme coin. Fucking, I don't want to hear it anymore. It's bullshit. They only care about it until their side does it. I've called out Nancy Pelosi for fucking years. I even give someone like Bernie Sanders a hard time for being a millionaire now because of his book sales. He shouldn't have that much money since he's advocating for socialism or a lighter version of socialism. But like, I'd still vote for him. You know what I mean? Like, I can call out when my side does a thing. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, if Destiny says something stupid or makes a bad argument, I'll call it out, man. I don't give a shit. Like, people can do the wrong thing sometimes. Like, we're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to hurt someone's feelings. It doesn't matter. You should call it out when it's bad. And then you should forgive people if they seem genuine about wanting to improve the situation. Like, these are real things, and they're tangible. We should care about them.
Words or whatever. What do you think people fucking go to war over? Do you think everybody goes to war because somebody killed their own personal family or friend? What do you mean? Words or whatever. People start wars over ideologies and words and religions and thoughts and ideas.
I mean, when you say, oh guys, don't do this. I mean, I'm just saying it falls on deaf ears. It is what it is. Like,
why do you don't think these people are influential at all? That when the killers go out and kill and they say I did it because.
Not an American here, but I would have voted for Bernie in a heartbeat. He has the right heart. And you also know that he's not doing it for money. Bernie Sanders is probably like one of the poorest people, I think, in Congress or the Senate or whatever. I think Congress. I think he's been in Congress the whole time. He's been a congressman for a long time, I believe. Yeah, no, he's a senator. Fuck, dude, I'm getting this wrong. Anyway, like he's had the same views for like 40 fucking years. Like, you know he's not doing it for payments. A majority of his donations come at $5 when he was running for president the 2 times he ran. Well, the last 2 times he ran. Like, his donations come in at minuscule amounts, but it comes in by such a large margin of people that, like, it does the... Like, if 1 million people donate to you and you make $1 million, that's a pretty big thing. Bernie has a proven track record going back decades. Exactly, dude. Exactly, dude.
Because this guy said it? That doesn't matter? What do you need to prove to connect the thoughts?
So the rhetorics, when it's from the right, it's clear coded. It's probably this whatever. But
he was arrested at a protest when he had an afro. That's my boy, dude. Even fucking xQc's chat is openly admitting that he's being cooked in real time. Yeah, he does look like he's kind of like he's seeing his chat turn on him. He's like, "Fuck."
Was on the left. It could have been that. Whatever, dude. I think you're just not being consistent with this.
When the left does it, I call them out on it. All the cop shit and all the unarmed black people shit, I said that was bad. What do you mean? I called them out on it. And Biden and Kamala had to disavow it as well. When they ran for office, they had to say, you just saw a tweet of Gavin Newsom saying this violence is not acceptable. You can't do it. You'll be arrested. Show me one tweet of Donald Trump talking about the right like that. You will never be able to find it. You won't.
Then tell people to stop shooting people on the streets, stop gun violence. Oh my God, it's real bonus.
When did they go home?
Say stop doing drugs.
On January 6th. On January 6th, when did they go home? On January 6th, when did they go home? When did they go home?
Please, I beg it. We need Trump to say.
Okay, good idea, Destiny. So xQc just got cooked in a way different way. X is saying that he doesn't think that if the president were to tone down the the violence, that it would stop. Isn't it funny that, like, after Donald Trump told the Patriots to go home on January 6th, that they stopped violence, they stopped rioting, and they went home? Almost as if he has political power. Kind of defeats his entire argument. Huh. Funny that.
You're saying some retarded shit. Nobody does drugs because a political person told them to do drugs, you fucking retard. Nobody, the politicians telling them to do drugs.
Saved. Homeless are saved. World-changing news are coming in. Fentanyl has disappeared from physical realm. All of it has turned to dust.
You guys need to go to more public events. At the very least, if you're going to sit here and talk about it, you should go. You need to go be at risk just like anybody else. Don't say shit unless you're willing to go stand outside and see who the fuck is going to show up at your event. Because it is insane to me that retarded fucking roach lords like you and Aspical will sit in your fucking house and stoke the flame so hard and then point out random left-wing accounts where the president of the United States is literally saying unhinged shit every single fucking day, and you sit here and laugh at it like you're an actual fucking toddler watching a Jack in the Box. That's crazy. That is insane to me.
The language you're using is crazy, but now I think it's awful. I think
they're so brave. Wow, so brave. It's so brave.
Trump also said the day Pence may deserve getting hung. Thankfully, he was convicted. Convinced to publicly say, "Go home instead." Exactly.
Well, I mean, call me out. Good job. Nice. The guy who's, by the way, banned from your streaming platform, Twitch, for calling out the left wing, by the way. You're so brave. Meanwhile, Trump will never, ever call out the right. Because he doesn't need to. Because fleshlights like you will always be there to take another fucking load for him. You will never call him out. And I bet you haven't. I'd be curious if some of you trying to link me after. If you calling out Trump without immediately after going, and the left does it too, and the far left too, and the Democrats too. Show me one time with you calling out Trump on his own. One time. I bet you haven't done it in the past year. I bet it hasn't happened.
Bro, when people link you to clips and when you see it, I don't want an apology publicly. I want an apology from you to me that you try to fucking actually pin this shit on me like that. I think it's odd. I think it's odd behavior.
Okay, well, we'll see. Hopefully, the past year, one time. Okay, I love everybody. Good luck gambling.
All right. Thank you, man. See ya.
Did I hear that? Yeah, you did.
I just want to play video games. I hate politics.
Oh shit.
How did that get to words don't mean anything at the end, even when they come from the president of the United States?
Oh. D, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't think there's hope, man. If you can't explain it to these dipshits, we're fucking cooked. Not like my fat ass can do it better than you, bro.